Yeah, we can do that. This first item on our agenda is this for closed session. This is an incentive grant program for large industries that either locate or expand within the town limits. So this is basically a copy and paste for the county's industrial incentive, so we can be able to give the same type of incentive if a large company were to locate within the town and annex themselves, or property that's already within the town limits or an existing industry expands. There's different levels of investment. There's minimum levels. So the minimum level for an existing industry to qualify for the grant would be $500,000. The minimum for a new industry would be $2 million. If you look at page 3 at the bottom of your agenda packet, it has the investment levels. So you award it depending on the level of investment, which give you the opportunity to give them a higher percentage rate return on the incentive. So it's basically a property tax incentive to where the company would pay their property taxes this fiscal year, and then upon the start of the next fiscal year, that you would reimburse them for the prior year, and you do that for up to 5 years.
For the 100%.
No, you can do 100% if you want to, but usually you
I'm
don't.
talking about like the first year.
You can typically the highest I've seen would be like 90, and you step down. So 90, 70, 50, 30 until the grant runs out. Or you can do the same percentage every year for 5 years. It's usually tied to how many level of investment and how many jobs they're going to create, and they have to return. They'll have to apply for the grant payment every year, so they'll have to turn in a report that says that this is how many people they hired to meet their jobs that they said they were going to meet. This is how much they're getting paid because they said they were going to pay them this much more than the county median industrial rate, and all that would be. And you would have to enter into like a incentive agreement with them before they came, and we were going to do that. So it wouldn't start until, if it was new construction, it wouldn't start until the new building was in place and they were operable, and then for the existing industry until that project of expansion was finished and they were operating.
And so essentially what you're saying is that it's more like a tax incentive, so we're not like fronting them money.
True. Right. We would pay them back a percentage of their prior year property taxes.
Okay.
Like they did it for Piedmont Fiberglass. Piedmont Fiberglass wanted to build a new building.
Mm-hmm.
So that's new on the tax books, right?
Yeah, expansion.
And so once they started paying that new tax, then the county started reimbursing for the incentive, gave them the incentive.
I would say the county has this, but they don't always use it.
They have it.
You're exactly right.
And they lost some business because they didn't want to use it.
Right. They did use it recently with the buyout for Kincaid first. So they used it on that. But yeah, there probably has been times where they didn't offer it and they could have it. I don't know how many times we get the opportunity to offer it. It's just our first attempt at setting up a program. But if somebody like Kincaid or KNC or somebody else that's located within the town, or does reinvest or expands, that we can incentivize them together with the county at the same time, and that's a double incentive for that company to stay here.
The whole issue is trying to get somebody in here.
Mm-hmm.
Right. If you can attract them with this, then that's the hardest part of it.
Could part of it be that if they're looking but they're not in the city limits, they could be like spot annexed in to be able to get it?
I don't know, leave that up to Monroe.
Well, sometimes the main reason that they ask ask for annexation is they want city utilities.
Right.
They want the city utility rate, or they want, well, those are the main things. Is that, so you could do a satellite annexation if it, we get that all the time with residents. So again, it would just be up to whether there was some, that they were compelled for some reason to want to come into the city.
And the 5 years is a good number because once they're there for 5 years, they're pretty much established at the 5-year point and they're gonna stay.
Well,
Unless something dramatic happens.
Well, I think the reason you use the 5 years is that typically what you see is the incentive is one that is paid pro rata over a period of 5 years. Say it was in this case, his level 1 was a 60% incentive. So they met the goal of investment and hiring in year 1, and they paid the taxes in year 1, and they get 60 cents back on the dollar in year 1. They kept the same employment level. Obviously, the investment, depending on whether it's personal property or real property, but it stays the same. They get another 60 cents on the dollar in year 2, same year 3, same year 4, same year 5.
So this is like you're talking about, so all the way across the board, same percentage.
Typically, that's what it is. Now, it could be front loaded, it could be back loaded. It depends on what the parties negotiated. When I say front loaded, it could be something higher on the front end.
90 down to 10 or
No,
something.
I would think that you might want to back load it, but listen, that's just me. I've been one of the people, I've been around this now 42 years, and the first time that I was involved in the economic development incentive was not until 2008 or 9. I mean, I was around them, and we had a lot of pitches in Conover all those years I worked for Conover, but Conover never did one until 08, 09, 10, something like that. But typically, they're the same. They're not front loaded or back loaded, but they could.
You said you would rather do what, front loaded or back loaded?
I said I would tend to want to back load it instead of front loaded. In other words, they don't get the bigger number until they meet year 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Now the industry would want it to be front loaded.
Right. But if it's a company coming in trying to start up, they would probably want it front loaded to help offset their cost. Well, an existing company, big company coming in might, hey, we want you around here for 5 years at least, so you stay here 5 years, you're gonna get the back. I get what you're saying, yeah.
Yeah. Just so they don't get it and then.
Well, they have to keep the target. What happened, what we saw after the 2015, 16, 17, what we were seeing is they couldn't meet their employment numbers because the workers weren't there to be hired at those levels that were required to be hired. They just couldn't meet it. So it's not that they didn't make the investment. A lot of times they did make the investment. They couldn't make the employment.
So there's no like capital outlay of town monies for this, it's just a tax, it's essentially a tax break, tax refund.
Fair way to put it. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, there'd be really no money out of pocket for us, essentially, except for putting our
'cause
tax
it's going
money
on-
back into an account. and
Because
getting
it's
it back
going
to-
off of new tax revenue.
Yes.
So,
But it's still an incentive that would be in place if we ever had
yes,
that opportunity.
Right.
And I think that is something,
Yeah, I
that
think
we
we-
talked about in our budget rate was we want something, we want the little carrot to dangle,
yeah.
I think the sooner that we can adopt a tax incentive, the sooner we can start incentivizing companies to come.
Well, how far outside the city limits can a business require or ask for that? If they're 10 miles outside of the city limits, we're gonna.
Well,
That's
I think we have to be in the,
I'm
we have to be in that.
We have to be within the 3 mile radius so we can satellite annex.
Yeah.
Which I mean, we talked about, 16 in the, industry down that way and also down 90.
Right.
So you've got two wide open, so that's kind of.
What about existing businesses that want to annex in town. If that so happens, I don't know that that's even a possibility, or they even want to. Say somebody in the industrial park can just float a letter down there and say, hey, would you be interested in annexing town for the utility bonus? Here's an incentive plan that we can offer you, one-time offer. Is that a possibility?
I would say generally not, because they're already established. They're not going to be creating any new investment. They'll create new revenue for us.
Yeah.
I get that. But wouldn't their incentive be 50% off of their utility rates?
Right, but we're not making anything off of them right now.
No. Well,
But if we incentivize them to,
yeah, we are. But
let's
they're
get water and
already
sewer, but I guess if it offsets the 50%, if we get a little bit more than the 50% off the top, or right off the bat, and then gradually increase it to more, the regular rate,
Yeah.
would that not be a
Yes,
net increase?
we'll struggle getting anybody that's there now just because their water and sewer revenue is not nowhere close to what their tax.
Right, well, that was my question, is it gonna offset their tax bill? And would they want the tax rate, I mean, you know.
Right.
If you have a heavy sewer user, you may get them. Biggest mistake town made was not annexing that industrial park before it started.
I think we should take advantage of it if they continue to grow there, and I
Like a
think
new business.
there's future there.
Yeah.
There's future there.
But it's a possibility. In one of the last companies that the county was in talks with, recruiting to come out there, was in favor of annexing into the town. So I think it's very possible that we
We
can
just need to
get
stay on top of that. And
What if we just approach the county about annexing property in ahead of time?
we can.
and we could approach Ben
Yeah.
about annexing.
Because the county will care, they're not paying taxes on it anyway, so they're making them their money then.
All right. Any more questions on this proposed incentive program? There are a couple of things for that I have to clean up in just to make sure. Like on page 4, it says in calculation of the grant. I had it in here that the town, in partnership with the Alexander County Economic Development Department, will calculate the maximum grant amount before approval by the town council. That's just basically because their department is typically more privy to a lot of confidential information for when a company is relocating or expanding. So some of that information may help us calculate the exact total amount of what we would like to give them. So I'll need to reach out to county management and make sure that he's okay with that department assisting us in the future if this happens. But I don't foresee that they will be. But, and that's about it.
Do we want to tackle the rates, or how do you do that?
As far as the investment levels,
Yeah.
for
You just want
500.
copy and paste, or you want to make our own?
I would say copy and paste the investment levels because it's still going to be.
I understand the levels, but I'm talking about the percentages. I guess it is the levels.
The percentages is whatever we want,
Right.
whatever we negotiate with the company. So I mean, it could be anywhere from
So it won't
1%
be a
to
set.
99%. No, the 5 years is just set at the. I mean, there's a grant factor that's set back on the very last table, but you can, if you want to set those specifically, we can. Like, I think the county
Would we
gave
have to set them?
agency,
Well,
Or is it
Social
negotiable?
negotiable.
are these not consistent with what the county's already adopted?
yes.
I would think from the standpoint of just consistency in the very beginning, you would want to stay with those consistency. it will eventually, first of all, this will be a public document.
Right.
So they'll know, all they gotta do is look, right, to see it. If we're consistent with the county now, you can, well, I just think it'd be, from simplicity purposes, it'd be simpler. Although you do see them in Catawba County where the city is maybe not incentivizing as much as the county.
Right.
I've seen those recently in Catawba County. The city incentive was somewhat less than the county incentive.
Yeah, I think how we're positioned as far as our location, I think we need to be pretty aggressive with our incentives, just for at least for a little while, we get it started, get the ball rolling. Also, I don't know, what do y'all think about setting the rate instead of the negotiable rate? Because to me, that kind of gets in the weeds of, well, they gave this company this much, and they only gave this company this much. I think it should be set across the board.
I think we just leave it the way it is with these grant factors in here, and then that'll be, like Monroe said, consistent, and then that'll be the percentage that goes with the level
Gotcha.
of investment.
I mean, I'm fine with that. I would like to see it set in instead of like a negotiable.
Right, okay, yep, well then we'll make sure it's set with these right here.
If you don't want it negotiable, that's real simple. These 5 people can say, guys, and they come back and say, well, really, you say 60, but we really want 70. And you say, sorry, it's not negotiable. And you'll see whether or not you're willing to stand on that position or not.
I understand. And that's why, I guess that's why I'm asking the question. Because if it's a big company that's going to bring 600 jobs to the county,
Then yeah, then we can negotiate. These are just the minimum percentages that we would look at. So for like level 1 new, we would,
we wouldn't be held to that.
You never held to them. First of all, unless you do, unless as a political body, you want to be held to them. It's a matter of negotiation from transaction to transaction. However, if you want to take a position, guys, this is the deal, it ain't changing. Now,
Gotcha.
I mean,
I think it gives us a guideline.
Guideline. I was going to say it's probably just a guideline.
This
It's a program, yeah.
the road to hell. I don't need to finish the statement.
Are you ready to go to the next one there?
Yeah.
Okay. Signs, ordinance, regulations.
Sign ordinance. I think the biggest thing that was held up in our sign ordinance last time was whether we were going to allow awning signs in the downtown and how we were going to create signs that utilized motor vehicles.
You talking about the people that like ride around with the thing in the back of their vehicle that promotes stuff?
I think that's not allowed. But I mean, like the antique shop on the west side, it's got that old punch bug out there. That's already in town. Do you want to not allow it in the future and grandfather that in, or do you want to allow it? And then a bunch of people can have it.
I personally like the car sitting there for what it is, for what it's doing.
I do too. I think it looks nice for that.
It's
business.
appropriate for what the business is.
But do you want a bunch of businesses in town that use rusted cars as their sign?
I don't know, I personally thought about sitting one up on top of my awning, but if I could find one that would fit. I have a couple questions. So, okay, so for instance, on page 4 of this document, the 7, under prohibited signs in D7, it states that signs that have moving parts, including scrolling signs, message board signs, animated and/or mechanical motion signs, are prohibited. So that means that the county sign is prohibited because it is a moving
Mechanical.
Message mechanical board sign.
No, because it says, somewhere else in here that government entities are exempt.
That's kind of,
That's kind of, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So,
What about signs around people's windows?
With the government, it's a message board sign that they put out messages to the
it
public.
was still.
right, but it's said that it's illegal right here. Message board signs are prohibited.
Yeah, for a private business.
Look, I don't feel comfortable passing a law that the government can't do, the private citizen can't do. I mean, I don't, to me, that's the definition of hypocritical. Honestly.
Number 3 on page 2 has a governmental authority.
It just says, I can
Saying,
do it.
look what I can do and then you can't do it.
That's exactly what it says.
No, that's so the government can put out information to the public, and then
I'm all
along
for
Main
that.
Street or 16, every business doesn't have a huge menu board sign that's flashing at everybody while they're driving down the road. If there's enough consensus on the board to change it, then we can change it before we have our public hearing in April.
And then what about, we're still under prohibited signs, and number 11, it says, on vehicles parked or located for the purpose of displaying such a sign, whereas the vehicle is either a part of the sign or a sign structure.
That's the antique store.
Oh, I thought it meant people running for office that were driving around with their signs on the side of their vehicles and
No, that's a-
parking them strategically in town so that people would see them.
No, that's a political sign.
Or riding around with political signs in the back of their pickup so that people could see them and parking them in strategic places.
Y'all said y'all didn't want to regulate political signs.
I don't think we need to. I mean, that's,
Yeah.
we'll use it. Just gonna be honest with you.
I mean, that's what I was gonna say, who's gonna police it? Like, you don't write something that can't be policed, that's my point. I didn't realize that the vehicles parked was the antique store.
I would just add unless approved by board.
Like a special use permit? You can make it allowable, permitted, but with a special use permit, but then it's gonna make it very subjective unless you have distinct guidelines to go through with why or why not the vehicle sign can be allowed. Because then people can sue you over one business getting to have a vehicle sign and they not. And if there's
choosing.
So does the county have this? Because there's another business out going toward the lake, so I'm not gonna say exactly that there's a truck out there and the headlights are on it, not, so when the sun goes down, and it's beautiful.
That's on
It's
one,
beautiful.
that's on Church Road.
Yeah.
Yeah, friendship, yeah.
Couldn't have it out.
Yeah, and it's beautiful.
Beautiful.
I mean, just the whole display in of itself, which is their signage, their entrance. I mean, anything can be done tastefully. And I just hate these rules that dictate, like the big flag fiasco stuff in Statesville and the big moose fiasco in Mooresville where they banned the moose and the moose was as big as this room and it had to be moved. But I love the
I
moose.
tried to buy the moose
Did you?
for Chestnut.
I mean, you know, it just kind of, they went with what they were for, and I don't know, I just think that's, although I drive through and I look at some stuff and I'm like, I'm gonna go over there and scrape that down and put it back up for them so that
And
it
that's
looks
why the
good.
ordinances are there.
Right.
for-
And you can't
It's
pick
a
and
tough-
choose.
it's a
You
tough-
have to-
If you just allow them to do whatever, then
Yeah.
It has to be consistent. You have to be consistent if you're gonna have any kind of, you can't pick and choose. I mean, do I agree with it? No, but, I mean, you still.
Well, a lot of it we won't even have to deal with because it's within the overlay district of the historic district and everything gets done has to go through them for approval. Okay,
Yes.
so.
That's for,
Now, if it's existing there prior to it becoming hysterical, no. Because you'll have that's a good court case right there.
grandfather.
Yeah.
Anything that's there is grandfathered in.
What is
Yeah.
there now, but if you're going to put something out there
And then it has to
On
be
the
approved by,
sidewalk.
yeah.
that, like the car,
So,
that's new.
so these prohibited signs would be the whole thing right now, grandfather in, and anything coming up? would be
Yeah.
Subject to this prohibited.
Right. I mean, some places have been pretty aggressive with it. Only grandfathers you in, so for a certain period of time, they have to change it. I don't necessarily agree with that, but you know, if you're going to change something and something's been there for a couple of decades in some instances, then you just leave it alone and allow it, and just explain why you changed it.
Nathan, does this run counter to the enactment by the General Assembly, I guess it was late in 24, regarding making changes to regulations without the consent of the owner? Under 160D.
Well, I mean, we would have to get consent from every business owner and.
Well, that's been part of the debate.
Right.
Now, I know some towns haven't adopted the text amendments, but
Right.
that statute, I looked at it, maybe when I thought this was coming up in
March. Yeah.
March, that there was at least a question. Now, I don't know what. I know Seacrest has some recent text amendments.
I think the signs are fine. I think, from my understanding, the biggest push right now, or the most recent thing, is downzoning in the downtown. We can't change uses.
Well, okay. Guys, I didn't mean to be veiled about it. The mayor remembers what I'm talking about, which in the General Assembly adopted a ordinance that basically said you couldn't downzone,
Right.
and the way I read that, you couldn't downzone a piece of property without the consent of the property owner. And so the question would be, is this new regulation a kind of downzoning under that statute? But
That's a good question. I would argue that it's not, because it doesn't have anything to do with the intended use. It just has to do with the type of sign you have for your business.
Because you're not really rezoning something, you're just talking about ordinances.
No,
You're just talking
we're just
about-
restricting the.
Right,
In some cases, the type of sign or how big your sign can be. We're not really restricting the type of business you can have. And we're not changing any of those uses.
So what is a awning canopy sign like? If on the canopy you have your name put on it?
Yes.
it needs to be put above,
Well,
is that like on
the vision is just to have the address.
I'm
Right,
saying have it consistently.
yes.
And
that is
I mean,
something
after we
about-
had that discussion, I went and rode through multiple towns and looked, and they all have a mixture of both. Some have the names and some have the street addresses.
But I mean, that is something we talked about, that we wanted it to be more
Yeah, I mean, and I get it, having
consistent and.
your business have its emblem or whatever printed on the awning, but most of our businesses in the downtown are renters, or tenants, they're not the people who own the building. So you could have a business in this shop and for a few years, and they leave and go somewhere else, but they have an awning with their name on it. And now you have a different business in there. And the new business doesn't want to pay to get a new awning, and the property owner doesn't want to pay to have it changed because he doesn't care what business is on it. Because that business is in it, it's paying him rent. So,
And then it's confusing to the people who are shopping,
Right.
because they don't,
Right.
okay, is this business or is it the new
in
business?
that
or-
case, you can just
Which is it?
you can get a sign that hangs down from the awning, or small window sign.
Okay, now I have another question. So on page 6, under the downtown overlay, so wall murals are not wall murals are prohibited?
No.
Or why's it got an accent?
Because that shouldn't be an X, that's just a typo.
Which one, where are you at?
Page 6 of this document.
Oh, okay.
On the
Yes,
chart.
Yes, okay.
It's in zone residential 1, 2, what to use.
So does that mean though that it can't be a wall mural with their business name, not necessarily just a wall mural like the train station or that kind of thing? Is that what that means? Maybe.
I'm not sure. I don't think we discussed that. I think we just talked about wall murals in general.
Okay.
Because
I said about the downtown overlay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah. We definitely don't. We'll put on there.
yeah, like I think this whole column can be taken out, can it not? Because we really don't have any say so over what happens within the historic district.
I mean, we do, just because there's a certificate of appropriateness that's given for something doesn't necessarily mean that we have to approve their sign permit. I mean, the county will have to do that, and if they would get a certificate of appropriateness, I don't necessarily think there's a legal standing for them to deny their sign permit. If it meets the regulations that we pass, or the current ones, and it meets the historic district regulations for signage.
Okay, now who's gonna police this stuff? Because we're writing it, we gotta police it. Who's gonna be the responsible party for,
The people we contract with, I was in the county planning and zoning. We pay them.
That's what we pay.
We pay them.
If you do the message sign, you do need some regulations on it.
Do what signs?
If you're gonna allow the message board signs and everything, you do need some regulations on it as far as the speed that the words come across and all that.
You mean like the government sign?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if you're gonna allow it for the business and government, there's certain rates that the words,
Is that a normal thing not to let? I mean, does other towns do that, or is that something that I'm just missing, or?
Yeah. And then for other ones that have the message for sign, they have regulations for about how long each
How fast.
message can be on there, how fast it can go, how bright it can be.
is that in this document?
No.
Because I didn't see it. Okay.
Because it's considered a traffic deterrent.
Yes.
Right.
That's why you have to have those regulations.
No, I have to put those in there. So I'll put those in there and send them to you so y'all can review it before April. And then if you still don't like where it's at in April, then you don't have to pass
I
it.
mean, what do you think? What do y'all think about it?
I mean, I agree that I think we need something because we have people that just come in here with a paintbrush and paint stuff on the inside of the window, so you have to look at it and it's on the outside, and there just has to be some regulations
I
in
get
it.
that, but I'm talking about the rolling signs,
Oh,
there's lights on.
I mean,
I understand
built,
what you're saying.
they built it and it's there, it's grandfathered in is my thing, like,
And I understand the safety aspect of it, I guess, now. I mean, I didn't think about that,
So where?
it is a distraction
but the rolling, strolling signs.
Yeah.
at
You
one of
talking
the
about-
heaviest intersections.
Are you talking about the one that they set up sometimes over there?
No, I'm talking about the one that has brick around it.
Oh, the one in the county?
Yeah.
Yeah. The one well, there's also that other one though. Sometimes they set it up there, over there on Highland.
Thought somebody
And
really
we're-
worked.
Traffic.
Or special events, I mean, it's just there, like, it's just a,
It's under other stuff, it's,
Yeah,
it's
that's just
permitted
a-
under, that's just for
Yeah.
information during heavy traffic times.
yeah.
Alright, I'll add some, parameters for the, message board signs. But I do think we need to restrict that to like commercial corridors,
What?
like commercial areas, like Highway 16.
You know,
I don't want it on Main Street. I don't want any of
It
those,
doesn't need to be in downtown,
No.
but I mean,
which I don't think the historic district would allow it anyway, but I don't.
I don't know.
I mean, I can't think of anybody else that would want to build one.
A bank.
Churches.
Churches.
You got one right on the corner that
The
scrolls
The bank.
when it's auction, when it's auction.
Which one?
Right here.
The BB&T.
Oh,
When it's operational, it scrolls. It can be stationary or it can scroll.
Is it right on the corner like could be used as you come into town? Is it like where you can see it from both? I'm not
I think if you're going east, you can see it. If you're going west, you don't see it.
So it like couldn't be used as a welcome to Taylorsville, scroll, that kind of stuff?
I don't think so. If you're going out of town, thanks for coming.
Come back!
I'm gonna look at it.
See you soon!
I mean, you know, there's other places, I mean, think about Hillhead, I can't imagine what their book of this stuff looks like.
Oh, yeah.
Because everything has to be uniform, everything has to be disguised, you can't see the buildings, they've got to have trees in front of them, and then all the signs look exactly the same. So it's highly restricted. I think this allows for some creativity on the part of the business owner, but
But it still
puts some restrictions on things that would be detractors.
But you just said a key word, business owner and not business building owner.
Yeah, it's not the property
Because
owner.
most of ours down Main Street are owned by somebody else.
Yeah.
George probably remembers the last big sign fiasco. AutoZone, remember?
Yeah, how that thing,
They went crazy over it because it was illuminated before illumination wasn't supposed to have been allowed.
See, that's no traffic lane. That's a law. Like, that's not an offense, that's a, you can't have, I mean, they have to be regulated, those signs do, because it's traffic, it's dealing with traffic as a deterrent to the driver. So, when I know that much, it is.
yeah, that's good. I mean, that's something I didn't think about, and I'm afraid now, I know, but as far as the scrolling signs and distractions and stuff, they would. Guess we still want, I mean, I don't know, are we allowing it, or are we, not? Except for county.
Well, if you don't feel comfortable with allowing the government to do something that everybody else.
I mean, it is kind of it's a hypocritical thing, but I could actually also see but there is none other in town except for churches.
Right.
Is there other churches in town that have scrolling signs like that? Are there other churches in, I don't think there's any other churches in town.
Ag South is the only one that I can think of going out 90. Their scrolls.
Oh, you're talking about the one on my road.
No, man, the one going out of town.
Well, the one on my road does too.
Not her.
The one
Well, you
right
got
on the
Mount
bypass.
But before that, you got Ag South.
Oh, yeah,
I can't even think of the name of the church. Yes,
Well, there's
I got it every day.
Right by your door.
Oh, they had a, yeah.
There's Longy.
I think they had to tone it down though, because at first it was really, and then
Then
it
you got
was
the one,
different.
Riverview Bay.
But I
on
think they were
16 South.
told, you got to tone that down,
Yeah,
because it was really out there for a while. But I think since then they've had to, but now it does have movement like you read it. It's like a,
Yeah.
yep. Yeah, I saw that. When you said churches all the time. But Mount Hermon says too.
Yeah, it's good.
That's mine.
Mhm. Yes, ma'am.
I don't know, I can't
If you
imagine
stationary
that.
or you can scroll,
They have one too.
they can change it up.
The The biggest, just,
Well, the one down Louddown, the
Right.
Church of Christ, they've got one. This way,
biggest
Oh,
driving
they
distraction
do.
to me in the town of Taylorsville is the car wash. Just saying.
Oh, is it?
It blinks
And
and
I know
runs
it's
and
there.
does.
It's
But
got
every
blue lights on
time,
it.
that's what I think, I
Police.
think, oh my gosh, there's
I
something.
think it's the
And
police
still,
every time.
And I know that's what it is, but I still
Out
think,
there at
oh my gosh,
Walmart.
there's something going on.
Yeah. It's,
Every
It's
time.
pretty bright, yeah.
It is. Yeah.
Especially thanks to police activity going on.
That's exactly.
I think we need this, but I think it needs a little bit more refinement, and I'm still questioning the allowing the county and not others, but I understand. I like it the way it's written versus the alternative.
All right, well, I'll refine those items we discussed about, and I'll send it out to you. You can respond to me.
May or may not be on the agenda.
It'll be on the
It
agenda.
will be.
Yeah.
just to sum up the area, do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Well, it's not ours.
No, that's not our time.
But it's
It's
in
not
our
our
town,
son.
yeah.
but it's in our town,
But that's not our land.
but it's in our town.
Everybody thinks it's ours.
Oh, yeah.
What, the
We don't-
sign?
Well, I mean, you know,
Everything.
nobody knows the county, town
Everything
business.
Well, I mean, okay, here's the thing about that sign. That is probably the only place that a lot of people that live in this town get information about stuff that's going on. And, I mean, because as a town and as a county, we each do a horrible job in promoting events and stuff that's going on in town. And at least they try.
No clearinghouse.
Right, there's no one central point. I mean, like somebody asked me the other day, what's this such and such going on? I said, what are you talking about? Well, there's, you know, I'm like up here and they're like, well, the courthouse is all swamped in people and they're out there doing something. And I was like, I have
Either
no
going to
idea.
jail.
They
They're going to
were
jail.
going to jail at the park?
No, at the courthouse.
Oh, well, no, they were at the courthouse park. Sorry, I misspoke. So I was like, I have no idea what's going on in the park today. There's just, I think we do a very poor job in
But how do
communicating.
you
events.
fix that though? I mean,
We
unless you
need
just,
like an information officer, that is their job, that they do all day long, that
Well,
they are promoting
you got one in
events.
for the county. Just ask him to communicate with the town.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
but then what are we gonna do with the information when we get it back? We don't do
We
anything.
can't disseminate it.
We don't do anything to
Right.
disseminate it. Unless our website was updated all the time and had events on it and had a calendar that had stuff that went on
yeah.
Is there not a calendar on our website now?
it. Does it get all the events? Where are the events coming from?
Same ones they have in the town and the county. That's not, but, well, I'll double check that. I know we have an events calendar on our page where you can go and see the Apple Festival, Apple Blossom Festival, concert series, Hometown Halloween, Hometown Christmas. And as we generate more in the future, we can add it to that.
But there's a million other things that go on in town that if the only way that information gets out is if by some chance that person calls Gary Herman and he puts it on that sign. Like all the Studio 3 stuff, like, I mean, there's a lack of information and communication. Or it should go to the radio station, because then there's a whole other group of people that listen to the radio and get that information.
Okay, you ready to go to solid waste?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, let's turn to page 29 of your agenda. There should be section 50.14, special collection of yard waste and bulk items.
first change? Is this where the first changes are?
We haven't made any changes. We're discussing,
Okay.
we're about to discuss changes.
Okay.
Actually, alright, so the definition in our ordinance for yard waste is grass, weeds, leaves, tree trimmings, plants, shrubbery, prunings, and other similar materials which are generated in the maintenance of yards and gardens and which are separated from other solid waste materials and placed in a designated collection area at the curb. Yard waste shall not include trees, tree limbs, brush, and other materials resulting from commercial tree services. No waste for tree removal, tree limbs, truck, etc. will be collected. Stumps will not be collected. Items that are over 6 feet long and 4 inches in diameter will not be accepted.
That's what's now in the ordinance.
That is what is now in the ordinance. If you look down at number 6, the bottom of page 29, it says no materials such as trees, shrubbery, or underbrush resulted from land being cleared will be collected. Number 7, no limbs or debris will be accepted curbside from work performed by a commercial tree service. All limbs and debris from work completed by a commercial tree service should be hauled off by the contractor. If the contractor or builder fails to remove the material, the removal therefore shall be the responsibility of the owner of the property.
What's the maximum amount of waste that can be removed?
One truckload.
Does it state that somewhere?
I had a magnolia tree, if y'all remember, several years ago, big, huge, maybe came, ice storm came, half of that tree fell in my yard. I cut on that thing for, I drug and cut limbs up for probably 3 weeks and hauled them to the curb. You couldn't see my house from the curb, almost because of the amount of, but they picked them up. Is that an extenuating circumstance because of ice storm or?
No, they just like
Back is when we put the lines in place.
Probably so.
That's what
But I mean, I would think that you are supposed to pick it up because it was a natural disaster. The limb fell. He worked it. He didn't have somebody professional come in. From what he just read, they pick it up.
We did pick that up.
Yeah.
Well, but they need to pick it up and then go away and then come back another day and pick up another load and go away and come back. And what about old women that can't, I mean, I'm not talking about myself because I can drag a whole tree and a lot more than my husband to the road. But if they're hiring some kid to come in and cut their tree limbs up and carry them out there,
Because that
why would
kid
they
can't
not?
take them off. He's been paid to cut them.
but
Let me I asked for this to come back up. We have situations over on 6th and 7th, Northwoods. Yesterday, prime example of the storm we had, Kenny Poole's house, there was a huge crack repair on the side of his house. It's no longer there. It's now laying on the building next to him.
Yep.
Linda, his wife, widow, she has no means of taking that tree and then hauling it off. You know, we've got to remember the people in the town that pays the bills to keep the town functioning. And when it comes to leaves, trees, limbs, the town should pick it up.
We don't have
Because the argument, wait a minute, we went out and bought a dump truck and we bought a hook to pick stuff up and put it in the truck. That was the whole justification when we bought that. We just increased the environmental fee, and people don't understand what that really was. They said, well, I'm paying $20 a month. Why don't you pick it up? You know, I know I'm not the only one getting phone calls, and maybe I am. And I'm getting tired of getting phone calls because a tree fell over in a snowstorm. It was cut up and taken to the curb, even though you said the tree was cut off at the bottom. She's got pictures proving it differently, but the tree has not yet been picked up. Some limbs have been picked up. And so I'm gonna go by and pick the tree up myself if the town doesn't do it. I just think the town should be responsible to the citizens of the town that's paying taxes to keep the city going. That's just what I
And
think.
in addition to that, there's stuff in here that talks about it can't be in the roadway, blah, 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 blah. Well, if you push leaves at my house to the front and leave them in the yard, in a matter of seconds, it's gonna be back in the yard. Like, I mean, and they blow out the road without you even trying. But if you put limbs and stuff out there, and this shouldn't just be a gripe session, but you put limbs and stuff out there and they come to pick it up, and instead of picking up said limbs and putting them in the truck, they bring a backhoe and take up half the grass. And I know I'm not the only person that that's happened at their house. So we have to be careful in what we're doing, which leads into what Jack was saying about helping at people's houses. And, you know, I never said anything about all the grass being gone, because, I mean, you know, really it is the town's grass. So we just put seed back there. But it's kind of like the picture I took this morning of GDS and the way they left all the library's trash cans blocking the road and stuff. I mean, we just have to pay attention when we're at people's houses and the way we're dealing with stuff. And especially when it comes to trash and solid waste.
Do we have a hoof? Is that from the crane truck or the grapple from the
Grapple on
tractor?
the tractor.
I think as long as the homeowner has drove the limbs to the curb, no matter the amount, I think that should be picked up.
Well, I only have one person right now that picks up brush.
Well, it may not be every, a consecutive day, but at least we need to pick them up. So I'm in agreement with them. I mean, we can't continue to take waste services and raise taxes. And I don't want to raise taxes anyway, but I'm not persuaded.
Well, there's gonna have to be a limit too. Just because we're gonna start picking up trees from people's houses, and you can go cut down half your yard and then leave it out there.
Well, we can't cut down a 10-foot round tree and expect them to pick it up. I get that.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the amount of limbs, and if it's a commercial company that comes out, yes, they need to take it away. That's what they've been.
That's part of their service. They should, the homeowner's paying for.
Yeah.
If
I
it's
get
a
that. That's
natural
100%. I get that.
thing, right.
Yeah, and I think, at the last natural disaster that took down a bunch of trees in this town, did we not, all of us, go and help pick up limbs and put them in trucks? I'm pretty sure I picked up.
Well, we did that for the hurricane. We went
What
around
you do?
and
Yeah.
bunch of stuff.
You get your trailer, you hook it to your dump truck, you put your excavator on the trailer, you turn the excavator, pick up the limbs, put it in the back of the truck. Bam, you're done. Problem solved. Right? You do it in a safe manner. If it's in excess amount of limbs, you got a phone on that.
Yeah.
Pick it up. It's my thoughts.
Let's ask you, is 5099, is that now, what you handed out, is that now the law in our books?
$59.99?
50.99,
Oh, okay.
that does not now exist.
Yes, it does, because the other one we did for the junk and debris and stuff was a different checker than this. I looked that up before we read this out. That was checked.
So are you saying 50.99 does not now exist?
No, it does. It's specific to this checker itself.
Did it?
It didn't incorporate, we created a new chapter in our ordinance when we did the other stuff. 'Cause it was
Well, I
also-
was just saying, if we adopt 50.99, you can't adopt it with a criminal statute then, unless you do it at two.
No, this is already set.
Well, I was asking, you said it wasn't.
No, I said that 50.99 is specific to chapter 50. It is set. This is what it is.
This is the way it now
Yeah,
reads.
this is the way it now reads.
Okay, yeah. Maybe I wasn't making this up. So that had been adopted a long time ago.
Yes. 22, 23.
Yeah, that's right.
Number 22 or
Okay, all right, so in April, we'll, set a public hearing for in May to, change this, solid waste ordinance for the tree removal. And I'll work on the verbiage of that within the ordinance and then bring that back to you at our work session in April, so you can look at it before we have a public hearing in May.
What are we wanting to change in it?
That we pick up trees.
Does it say we don't pick up trees now?
Yes.
And that is very specific.
Kim, can you read it out here?
Yeah.
What it will and what it not pick up. See, what's confusing to me, on page 22, it talks about yard waste, grass, weed, leaves, tree trimmings, but then on 23, up there, it says that it won't pick up tree limbs.
What, where is it?
On page 23, it's
So
talking
22 talks about
Around trees.
tree trimming.
Yeah.
Okay, but now what constitutes tree trimming is what?
But,
It's on the people's face.
No, it says from commercial tree service, and I think that is on the list.
Yeah, commercial trees.
Yeah, I think, if this is a commercial tree service, they're charging.
I mean, they always picked up my trees.
I think it needs to be within reason. I don't think we need to be picking up 5 foot round trees, trunks, or stumps.
Yeah.
And it would, the homeowner would need to cut them in lengths and appropriate, so we can pick them up. I think that would be reasonable, would it not, to ask, so.
I mean, I think there is a thing in there, I don't know exactly where it is, but I thought there was a thing that says there's a link in the definitions, there's a link that's set,
Yeah.
and that the ends have to be toward the road and all the other stuff
Yeah.
away from the road.
To make it easier.
I mean, yeah, for them to pick up.
But if they've got a line of trees that they cut themselves or limbs, it's like I had that day. Tell you what, if you don't understand, that was a tremendous blessing for them to pick it up because that was a lot of limbs. And I don't know what I've done. Sat on the front porch or something.
And in natural disaster, when state emergencies are called, I would say you don't necessarily throw it to the wayside, but you still don't pick up trunks and everything. But
You use common sense on picking up stuff, yes.
So let me ask you all this question, and I'm asking this of the town, what can I tell Linda Poole as far as the limbs off the Bradford pear? Because that's pretty much all that's on that tree is limbs. I mean, if it's the big stuff, she'll burn that in her fireplace. But the limbs, and there's a bunch of them, they got blew over yesterday in that storm that we had.
Is there somebody to drag them down to the road?
Not yet.
Or grandson can,
Well,
Jackson.
I'm sure he'll do it.
Jackson.
I will. Tristan Sinclair will.
Yeah, we'll pick them up, just, we can get one load at a time, space it out, clean it up.
And it doesn't have to be done in one day.
It doesn't have to be done in one day.
But Kenny, you talk about leaves. When Kenny would put leaves out on the curb at his house,
That
and we got vehicles going west at 100 miles an hour, guess where they wound up?
Your porch. You know, I mean.
You could sit in the house for a pile of leaves.
Okay, so you just made a comment about, she'd burn them in her fire pit. Now,
Her
a
fireplace.
citizen, her fireplace, but there was a citizen, that made, do we have an ordinance that says you cannot burn those limbs in a fire pit? Okay, so somebody,
No, if I get a burn, district,
right.
I can burn them. I've got a 7x7 pit on the side of my house. If I get a burn permit, it came from my yard, I can burn it in that pit.
I know who you're talking about, fussed about.
They just stopped Jimmy because we cleaned up some stuff, and instead of putting it out to be picked up, he just burned them. Did he call here and fuss because we was burning them?
I think it's just.
He didn't say who it was, he
I
just
think
said
it's
next
just
to the,
garbage.
he just said next to the library.
Oh, okay. Okay, it
He
was kind
smelled
of weird.
leaves burning,
Yeah.
that's what, he smelled
Yeah.
leaves burning, and he said, thought we had a service to pick those up. That's why I moved to town, so I didn't have to smell smoke.
Oh, good. We weren't burning leaves, so,
I think it's just
Yeah.
much.
we weren't
I
burning
do
leaves.
my
I
part.
don't think it has, I don't think it's anything like that.
No, our fire,
Okay, it's-
fire.
You should probably-
response to state. I didn't know who it was. I thought, I
I'm
honestly
the only
thought,
person that lives beside the
You thought it was
library.
George.
no, I thought it was one of the vendors behind the library. Who they were talking about.
That's
He
why
just
you
said
said
coming
Tam
from
Grant.
the library. I didn't have a clue.
Been here for 30 years. Okay, everybody satisfied on that item? And do you want to go to budget discussion?
Yes. All right, currently the town's total tax base is 274.9 million. 1 cent on our tax rate is 27,490. This is based off of last year's tax number. So is the county Sidsby. This year's, if they're updated, I can pass these out. Our current tax rate is 35 cents per $100 assessed value. So what are some of our inflationary pressures coming up? Oil, fuel for all of our vehicles and equipment. There's a conflict in the Middle East now, so that's going to have long-lasting effects. Groceries for everyone in the community. I know just as well as everybody else that might have gone up. What are our interest rates going to be this coming year for our money market account with the Capital Management Trust, our CDs at the bank, and where do we want to keep our money, and if we want to pull any out, how much do we want to pull out? So fuel and materials over the next year are going to be some of our biggest cause for concern. All right, currently in our CD, we have about 6.3 million, which is split 60-40 water, sewer, and general fund.
60 in water, sewer.
Yes. So we expect our interest rates to drop this summer. That looks like the trend it's going to go into. Ours currently is at 4.5 ish. It's like 4.48 or something. So we expect that to drop to 4.0. So do we lock in at this summer and re-up it at 6 or 12 months, or do we look at pulling some out and putting it in the Capital Management Trust, which is going to have a lower interest rate, but zero penalty if you pull anything out. So currently, just over this fiscal year, our water revenue's been down a little bit, and so is our sewer revenue, which is mainly due to the prison and their conservation efforts. Industry usage is down, and then just weather over the last few months.
Power bills up.
Yeah, boys and ever.
Well, we had a wetter summer than normal, so people weren't watering as much. So June, July, August, September are typically our highest water consumption months. They weren't up because that was wet time of the year. It wasn't until we had that one little dry spell in July, but then it wasn't about 2 weeks and it was raining again. So it just, revenues were just surprisingly, well, usage has been down.
So when water goes down, sewer goes down. It's just,
Pretty much. Sewer, it's a little bit different because there are so many outside sewer customers. The prison is the biggest factor. They're down. At one point in time, when both prisons were open, there was months we were seeing 4.2 million gallons of sewer coming off of the prison. This past month, we were at 1.2.
So Aaron, what would it impact us, or what would it give us if the minimum was back up?
If what? If the minimum
If they
was back
had a
up,
little prison?
probably, I don't want to say now because of the new, they spent $10 million to save 30% water consumption. If that was put in place, if that was not in place at the minimum grade, they're about 1 million gallons a month. That's what we were seeing. If they put it in place, you're gonna see 600,000 gallons a month. You know, they reopened it for a while after Helene and utilized it, and we saw about a 500,000 gallon increase there. I'm not sure what kind of capacity they were at that point in time. But then that was short-lived, and so that helped us out last fiscal year. This fiscal year has just been a struggle. I've requested City Hickory to rebuild the water meter just to make sure that we're capturing every gallon we can capture. Another factor with the prison, we went back and forth maintenance-wise. We agreed to maintenance the lift station as part of the agreement when the prison came, but then now they're throwing back because we had an issue with the generator there. Who owns what's there? We have some stuff there chemical-wise, dispensers to help control BOD and everything there, which they're not in compliance with.
That's at their pump station,
Yeah.
not the one on Macedonia Road.
Right, that's at their pump station. And so when the issue with we didn't think we was gonna be able to get the generator fixed. Cat come out and worked back and forth for about 6 months. And they couldn't come up with a solution for it. I spoke with the engineers of the prison. Of course, it wasn't the same engineers we talked to last time. And these new engineers said, well, we don't have no documentation on who owns it. We know y'all maintenance it, but do y'all own the generator or do we own it? I said, we assume you do. You own the pump station. And of course, their next response was, would y'all like to own it? I said, no, you don't own it. We don't have no part of it. I still don't have an answer on that. We got lucky. Josh Mitchell gave us contact for their generator guys, and $3,500 later, they had it fixed. Well, Cat was $10,000 later with no fix. That's not revenue side, but that's expenditure side, and we charge the prison for it. But I don't know that we make our revenues, our projected revenues for this year. The only benefit is currently our expenditures are still less than what our revenues are. We've had a very, very good year leak-wise, knock on wood, to this point. Now, granted, debt service has not been paid out, so that skews the number a little bit. We might have to raise rates just to break even with what we're at revenue-wise this year.
Speaking of the prison, just right down the road is the old Mitchell Gold Plant.
Mm-hmm.
I know Millville Christian Academy is looking at purchasing that, putting a school there. Is that something that would benefit us if they pumped it up? Could we?
They'll never be able to do it.
Okay.
Honestly, they would look at, well, Paul Payne being rebuilt was over $1 million. That was rebuilding an existing pump station and the force main from there to 16. We don't own the prison pump station, and I would be afraid to tell them that even if we did, allow them to pump it just into the prison's pump station and pump it on up, because that's added for along that pump station, and it would need to be rebuilt and redone.
How's it still being pumped now?
It's a septic tank.
Because you already said it was out of compliance, or did I miss?
Yes, the prison is out of compliance. We're in touch with them about that too.
Well, the reason why I asked about it, there's an entity in Raleigh that asked, how would it impact Taylorsville if they open it back up?
It would be great. It's wonderful.
Or what kind of impact would it be?
I don't know why. I don't know why they let it go to the wayside the way it is. Last I heard, the heat and air didn't work in the building. That was one thing that they were talking about. They would like to spend millions just getting it back to functional again. And then of course.
It
the
was more
staff-
political than that.
Well, staffing too. They struggle with staffing and everything else. That was the words I heard.
So it should help with employment, and it definitely would help us.
Yes.
So, what about the water side on that for the Christian Academy? Does it go down that way? Is that county or?
That is
It's
county.
being decided right now.
I wish it was us.
They service the prison. Okay.
Sorry to get off that rabbit hole.
That's a good discussion. That's what we're having the workshop for. Okay, so we buy our water from the City of Newton via Energy United. They will incorporate the 6 cent per 1,000 gallon rate increase next year, which isn't astronomical. I don't think. Aaron may think different, but
No, so that's within our contract with Newton based off of CPI. So it goes up every year.
So the water would go up and the sewer go up too?
No, that's just what we pay. 6 cents is what we pay.
Okay.
But obviously with revenues being down, we can't eat 6 cents.
yeah. So that puts our. So what's the impact on our customers? Are we going to raise our rate 6 cents to generate the break even back on that, or do we look at project what the revenues would be and incorporate it at the beginning of the year in July or halfway through the year in January?
I'm the last person to want to say increase prices, but every class you go to and listen to, you're told it's easier to go up 1 or 2% each year than it is to not go up for 4 or 5 years and go up 10%.
Yeah.
That time.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you should ever run it at a cost that we're paying for the water. So.
You mean the town should be paying for it?
The ratepayers are paying for the water, the taxpayers are not.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
Which I can explain a tax, a raise on water to a customer, to a resident.
Yeah.
Much better I can explain a tax increase.
With no services.
for
No
water.
additional services.
Yeah.
All right, so workforce. For staff, we're going to look at trying to give staff a 3% cost of living adjustment with the budget this year. Total cost of that looks about $49,000. So that'll be split between water and sewer and general fund. It's a good idea, I think. Helps us retain employees. And keeps us comparable and competitive with neighboring communities.
That will be heavier general fund than water and sewer. Just because the police department's a bigger department than water and sewer. So, just for heads up.
Yeah. So that is one thing to think about. We don't have a lot of revenue sources for the general fund. This is Texas. So we're going to incorporate 3% COLA. We may need a tax rate increase to help with that. Also, we used about 70, 80 grand last year off of investment earnings to balance our operational budget. We weren't going to generate enough revenue in property taxes to do that.
Or sales tax.
Or sales taxes to do that. All right, so health insurance. It's also going to be more expensive this year. Last year we got a premium reduction. incentive for signing on with Blue Cross Blue Shield after the whole thing with the league fell apart. We had to find a new group to go with. So we went to Hill Group because they had a bunch of different local governments that were coming in together that fell out of the league's thing, so we were going to get a better rate in that pool. So everybody, Blue Cross Blue Shield across the board, kind of gave everybody a $30,000 premium. Well, we're going to lose that this year. I'm also looking at possibility of us offering a YMCA membership benefit for our employees, which would cost the town about $12,000 a year. We're going to look at different plan options within the Hill Group to look at different premium levels for the town to expend, to buy into, so that can help clean up a little bit of potentially prescription costs depending on the plan coverage you have. And then right now we have a supplemental insurance policy that helps cover stuff that Blue Cross does. And sometimes it can get wonky and filing claims, so we're probably trying to clean that back up with just having one policy holder, and we don't have to, use two different businesses. So, it's $30,000 we're gonna have to come up with to cover the insurance for our employees. Public Works, equipment replacements, we're gonna have to look at replacing our smaller brush truck that Scotty drives because it's old and needs to be updated. Aaron, what's the latest price you've gotten on that?
Brand new is $85,000 to $100,000. We're obviously looking at a different route.
Is that with the bed on it?
Yes.
Or is that just the truck without the bed being
That's
on
what we're doing.
the 100,000? Because the truck's gonna be 80 something.
It just depends on what you get. That was shopping around, make and model, size of the truck, size of the engine, 4-wheel drive versus 2-wheel drive. I always factor into it. My recommendation is going with a used truck that's not worn out. That's the route we've been looking at. We just ain't found what we want yet.
What we'll do, we'll grapple things.
Well, we talked about that. That's going to increase price tremendously.
There's 100,000 of them for sale out for Halloween. They're everywhere up there.
What?
It's a brush truck. It's a full-size triaxle truck with a huge bed on it. It's got the crane on top that comes over and grabs the brush and puts it in.
Of course, it's safer for your workers too, they're not actually picking it
Right.
up.
Right. But it's a huge truck.
That's right.
Probably too big for a tow, but
I'm going to say, depending upon what size it is, CEO requirements and everything too.
I'm sure.
Especially what they have there.
They had a trailer with it too, so they got paid by the yardage.
They should just have them generator.
What fleet purchases?
Yeah.
Is that police?
Yeah, that's the I think, do we have any other trucks that we need to purchase this year?
We have our trucks that the part-timers drive, the orange old BAT, or 250 trucks. Both of them are well past the 200,000 mile mark. So I know one of them's had a new engine put in it. The other one is not. They're gonna be on the last legs too soon. There again, I'm being on those, I'm not looking, I don't want to look to move on. Honestly, I would prefer go used with lower mileage. Mainly just so come 7 or 8 years from now, when everything has been rotated out, if you rotate it all out with new, the second you stop, you're gonna be starting right back because the first vehicle you bought is gonna be aging out again.
Like maybe
Just
setting
kinda
up on
stagger.
a, yes,
Yeah.
setting up on a staggered schedule instead of having to do it all at one time, yes. That would be wise.
So that's,
I mean, isn't Kelly, aren't you driving a brand new truck? Kelly's driving a truck that's almost brand new.
Luke's driving,
Probably 4 years old.
yeah, Kelly's is a 20.
Okay, that's almost brand new in my house because we drive stuff till it dies, like 300, 400,000 miles.
Or Kelly's is a 20 model.
Put the toolbox on that Chevrolet, okay.
No,
Black one.
the toolbox on. But yes, Kelly has a newer truck. I think it's got about 70,000 miles on it now. Mine does not. Mine's only got about 11,000 on it. Luke's was new last year. Dustin's is the newest one. It just come a couple months ago, or a month ago, or so. But those replaced 99 models and 2,000
But that's
models.
still 4 new vehicles, and I am sorry, this may sound ugly, but I cannot get behind buying more trucks for part-time people when we can't even pressure wash the darn sidewalks. Can't do it. I mean, because those are the people that's supposed to be keeping town clean and doing stuff around town.
But they're mowing. Unless
That's
they're
not a
gonna start,
sidewalk.
you want them to start driving the lawnmower from the shop to the cemetery? I mean, they've gotta have equipment to get there. That's the problem. We've not bought equipment in a long time. I'm not fussing at Dave Robinette, but Dave Robinette, his motive was, I want to raise, I don't care about equipment. Well, when you do that for 10 years straight, you're stuck with the junk that we have. And so we've got to have the equipment to perform just as much as everything else. I'm not opposed to the services and everything. At the same time, we gotta have personnel. I don't know if Nathan's told yet or not, but Katie ain't here anymore.
I thought I saw that in an email.
That was her decision. We're looking to rehire her. We got a seasonal mowing position that honestly I can't seem to fill because it's a temporary position that nobody wants to give up a permanent part-time position to go to a temporary position.
So she was temporary?
No,
No, she was
she was
permanent.
No,
she was permanent.
yeah.
Why did we lose Katie?
She said she was gonna go pursue
Pursue
another opportunity. She went to, she probably got
her
paid more
words.
somewhere else.
Okay, so she got paid more somewhere else.
We've got 2 people that work in our sewer department, 1 person that works in our plant, and 2 people that work in our water department. We got a ragtag group down there. Like, I don't mind pressure washing the sidewalks, but I mean, we don't have pressure washing the sidewalk money in the budget. We didn't put it in there. We're a skeleton budget.
We got
Is it legal for a town council member to mow yards without getting paid for it?
I don't know that. I don't think so.
It's
You
not.
need money on yard?
Because we did, but we were told.
Years ago, we volunteered, but we were told we had to be paid.
And then we were paid, and then we were told it was illegal.
Yeah, it comes up, Fair Labor Standards Act, I don't.
If you were getting injured, I think it goes on that.
Yeah,
Are we not considered we're not considered employees of the town?
You're elected.
Government.
You're elected.
Are we not covered under the insurance
I love mine.
while we're on the premises?
Give me the cemetery.
Under workers' comp, this would be nothing. You're not an employee.
But
I mean,
I mean, if it's an insurance issue, if we volunteer to go mow some grass, are we not covered because we're on the property that we own.
No, because you don't work for the.
Oh, you mean a person own it, but
You're an elected official whose job description, quote unquote, isn't to mow grass. It's to make policy changes.
It's the same way if any other citizen wants to come in and volunteer
You
to
can't.
help do.
Well, now, I mean, I know, I haven't thought about the insurance repercussions. I mean, Conover sponsors a litter sweep once a year. Now, clearly, I'm volunteering when I go out there and picking up trash within either DOT right of way or city right of way. Listen, I hadn't thought about the issue in a long time. I just do
Yeah,
it.
what if somebody ran you over?
I
would hope that-
I don't know the answer to that question. Fair question, but I clearly have volunteered, there's no doubt about that. Now, maybe they have a blanket endorsement for that event, I don't know the answer to that.
I would think so. I
Sign
think
a
you-
waiver, maybe you
I
sign a
think
waiver, do a waiver.
Yeah, I think they're
Exists.
on risk to be like river sweep
But
and all
they could
those
have
others
insurance
out there,
to cover that
out
specific
picking up
event.
clean.
Be
I
next
don't
on
know,
your
I just struggle
list of questions.
spending money on stuff when we don't provide a lot of services to people for their tax dollars, and
They could be volunteers.
That's
We're-
because,
we're not
that's because we're a
improving the
small
only
town.
Going to,
There's only 1,100 households in the
fall
town.
and, you know,
And we only charge
it's
35
different,
cents.
but I guess they have
$100
insurance.
Then we get 5 cents of it to the fire department.
Yeah.
We're only operating on 30 cents, which isn't a lot of money when you only have 1,100 households plus some various vacant property paying taxes. There's not a lot of services that you get around and turn around for that because it costs a lot to provide those services, and we only have so much money. Infrastructure tools for public works, it's various stuff Aaron talked about doing the budget, like pipe machines and stuff like that. We'll try to work minuscule stuff like that into capital outlay within the budget. Police department, we talked about getting them a patrol vehicle, body cameras, if we can work that into the budget, and then some software upgrades for technology. So we won't spend a whole lot of time on that. That's pretty run-of-the-mill stuff, if we can look at it.
Nathan, one other thing on the water and sewer side, the capital needs that we purchased were paid for strictly out of investment earnings. They were not paid for out of any of the rate structure itself. Specifically because when the interest rate drops, and we all knew it was going to drop, we wasn't having to balance our budget and increase rates to compensate for those expenditures. Those were
are you
just-
talking about the trucks?
Yeah, the trucks and everything else.
Yeah.
Rate structure does not affect what we purchase at all.
Rate structures are purely to operate, to maintain our system to provide it. The capital expenditures we buy, like large pieces of equipment and vehicles, are all from investment earnings off of the CD.
But shouldn't some of the capital be built into the rate structure?
It should be.
It should be, but we don't have a capital rate anymore.
What was the,
We got rid of that for commercial,
We do
residential.
have it on commercial side, but a lot of that part of it we use for water meter replacements and things like that, line replacements. We haven't ever, prior to having nice investment earnings, yes, if we had to purchase anything out of that, that's where it came from. But the last 3 years, 2 or 3 years now, all of our equipment needs have been paid for strictly out of investment earnings.
how much is the investment earning on a year-to-year basis? Like, how
Off
much?
the CD, is that what you're saying?
It just depends. 2 years ago, we were at 180, I think. This year we were at 2. I know the rate had dropped, but we had
More in.
more in it, so it equaled itself out. This year,
But it's
So
going
that's-
down, didn't you
it's
say the
all-
interest rate was going
It depends
down?
on the entire, whatever you
Yeah.
want.
Right.
May or June
It's
debt.
pretty low. In water and sewer, yes.
Depends on
General fund
what
is
the Federal Reserve does.
So it's a different number.
Well, general fund just, that budget had to be balanced more off of investment earnings, than just having for capital.
Okay, I have one more question. So we should understand that you're saying that in this budget, you're trying to put money for a small brush truck and 2 other trucks to replace the part-time people's trucks.
That would,
We should not expect any other major vehicle purchases.
no,
For public works.
no.
Are we gonna buy some of those for something else?
We got a police car.
Oh, yeah, okay, gotcha.
Open the other people for you for one time Christmas. Just got the kind of impact.
We got magnets.
Okay.
I think
So,
I turned mine back in though, although it might be in the basement.
for the nonprofit we started, obviously we got the hospital project going on and the redevelopment of that project. I'd like to start another project with them, which was to incentivize either a local company or a new company to be here, and we would purchase some property, or give them the money to purchase the property, and then they would go through a grant and loan program to construct a 25,000 square foot metal building with some truck bays on it, and then they could lease that out to a business that needed it and generate a revenue stream for themselves. Doing that multiple times in the future, hopefully, with some other economic development projects to generate revenue streams for the nonprofit, so they can build their own capital and not have to rely on the town, because we're not going to be able to pay them enough to operate every year. We can't support an entire organization. So we have to build that organization's revenue up. So the urgent care property, we're selling it to Dr. Zong and his urgent care. So we're going to help him get a building reuse grant through Department of Commerce. And then, so our 5% match for that would be $7,500 to pay the COG to help do the administration of it. And then Commerce would release the money to us, and then we could repay Mr. Zong when he finishes his development project on site. And then just continuing to work through different ways we can partner with the TDA in the future. So,
Can I get a little bit of clarification on the building reuse grant?
yes,
It is gonna be an urgent care, he did say it would be an urgent care?
yes, can you,
Perfect.
He's a doctor.
urgent care.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was just gonna be a doctor's office, but
I did too, but he, you know,
now he says it's gonna be an urgent
I
care.
mean, we
They
can
eight Monday through Friday,
Yes.
and I forget what the weekend.
10 to 6.
10 to 6.
We won't be the bad guys.
So I said it just needs to go up first,
Yeah, we need to get that.
but I don't think that'll happen
They're already.
Now
looking
what?
at it.
with what his plans are.
Right. Well, I mean, he's gonna completely gut,
Good.
renovate the entire building, and then he's hoping to be operational by the end of the year. So,
This year. That's good, that's a good time. How about the other urgent care? They're already working on it.
Yeah, but they got some hiccups.
That's good.
Yeah.
Keep picking up.
Yeah.
Let's get ours first. Oh, he is.
So let's talk about the 25,000 square foot metal building here. So if we do that, we would be on the hook for, well, I would like for us to be on the hook for purchasing the land or giving the money to the nonprofit because they purchase it. It means we have to pull money out of our CD. So Aaron and I have talked about pulling money out of our CD this summer, and it renews to do that. Plus look at doing a park master plan and some other things to where we can kind of put ourselves in a position to purchase some land in the future to build a sports complex and generate some tax revenue for the town, some sales tax revenue for the town.
What's the 25,000 square foot building?
So metal.
It's a spec building.
It's a spec building.
It's a warehouse.
Fabricated
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you do potentially have someone interested.
Well, I do, yeah, potentially have two businesses that may be interested in at least that. So if we could secure a commitment from the company to lease it prior to the nonprofit get financing for it, that would help with their financing. The town would also probably have to somehow within the underwriting process be the cash reserves for the Alliance default they own that loan.
I thought the businesses that were interested in going on to the end of the hospital property. Is this two other additional businesses?
I don't have any businesses that are interested in the hospital property right now.
Is it two businesses that are already located along Highway 16 that you're talking about?
No.
Oh, okay.
This whole new,
This is good.
I mean, that's the way I understood it. I mean, I don't know.
No, my initial thought is there's a company close to town that's going to expand and need some space. So we could lease it to them, they can lease it to them, or we recruit another business to come in. I mean, you know, it's a free building almost that we leased, that the nonprofit leased to them at a low market rate for commercial expenditures, but they have to pay the taxes on the building and into the insurance coverage on the building and the utilities. It's almost triple net for the nonprofit, and then that creates a revenue stream for them.
I would like to see it come out of the CD. I mean, we got $6.3 million sitting there.
Yeah.
And if it generates money for the town,
Yeah,
I don't see how that
yeah.
is,
Yeah.
if it works. And
The strategic thing we're going to have to think about is if we budget every year to make our capital expenditures off the investment earnings that are in the CD, we pull a large chunk out of the CD, we don't get as many investment earnings. So we're going to have to pull enough to say, okay, this is all that we're buying for the next year or two.
Right.
And
I don't say we live off of it. I'm just
Well,
saying.
right. Yeah.
For
But
investment
for this,
opportunity, yeah.
yes.
Yeah. I mean, we won't lose all investment earnings because let's say we pulled $1 million out of it, we still got $5.3 million that's drawn on interest. So we're just not going to earn as much because we took $1 million out.
I think that was not the amount in 2023 that we had in there. It was $5 million, is that right? That's what I was told.
I can't remember that.
It was,
Yes, you're right. It was. It was about
that CD has earned $1 million in 3 years.
We've probably put some money in there from something.
I think
We
we
were
were
rolling. We rolled that, yes, we did put an extra $1 million in 25.
From the
Out of checking account.
outage.
Yeah.
Because we were ahead.
I'm not gonna lie, that stretched us as thin as we possibly could stretch. Had it not been, honestly, general fund ran in the negative for just a little while, to do that.
I guess what I'm trying to say is if we have money sitting in the bank, and we raise taxes, that's not good.
No. I mean, it's money sitting there for what we're talking
I
about.
understand, yeah.
Acres and
We don't want to operate off of it, I understand that,
Yeah.
but if we can use that money to better the town and generate more,
Then it takes the burden off of the homeowners.
correct.
in the future.
That's the whole idea of industrial or whatever coming in and footing the bill for our taxes that we don't have to raise.
And I'm that's gonna take a little while. I mean,
To build it,
this, well, no,
Yeah.
just
build the tax
building
base.
enough of a tax base, revenue wise. I mean, we're on the right track.
And it's just gonna take several years.
It's gonna take a little while.
It don't take long to build another building, they can be erected.
Right, but just
Well,
one
I'm
That'll
not,
go
I'm not
very
just
quickly.
talking about just that. That's not,
Continue.
that's one thing.
Take a little bit to-
It's gonna take more than that.
Right.
Tax revenue off of that to get us
Right.
to where we, you know, in a good spot.
You made the comment about building, you'd like to build a sports complex, which I think is a great idea, and I don't understand why it wasn't done years ago, 30 years ago, when Alexander County was dominant across the state and the southeast in softball and baseball. I mean, it should have been done then. But if you're going to build the complex, what comes first, the complex or the trying to get a hotel? You know, or a place for people to stay.
Yeah.
Have the complex and then they
Because then you get the traffic where the
Yeah.
hotel people are gonna say, because they always say, you don't have enough traffic for that. Then we have the traffic, then they can't say
I
that.
think the complex generates the traffic through a lot of stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
you still have so many travel teams. I mean, still, now, there's
Well,
just
the park generates.
so many travel teams.
The traffic off of it generates sales
Oh,
tax,
Right.
which generates cars going by, the traffic count goes up. It's more enticing for businesses to come through.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
How
it will
we
be
get there,
fun.
that's a long-term thing, yes.
Yeah,
It's
It
a
is.
long-term thing,
but we have to look at these things. If you
You gotta
don't
start
look
somewhere.
at, I mean, if they're building blocks, and if you don't start somewhere,
Come on, Aaron. I started, man.
you're not gonna, I mean, that revenue's just going somewhere else. We're just throwing it away.
But you
We're not
gotta
doing
have
it.
a plan in place. You gotta know where you're going, because each decision that you make, this 25,000 square foot building, okay, you pull money out of the city for that to get that. Before, it's gonna take a while to recoup that money back into the general fund that you can then utilize to spend on the next thing. So making a correct strategic move in the beginning
Correct.
and having that good foundation is what's got to be in place before you can get there.
And you could probably work a deal with On Time Metals, like try to get them involved so that you're doing it locally, because their buildings are beautiful.
That's where the majority of the buildings are coming from,
Yeah.
or at least material wise. They
Yeah.
got different contractors, but it's all coming from.
Okay, well, I have a question. If the Alliance does that, do we have to bid it out? Like if we were gonna get a building from them, don't we have to bid that out? Or if it
Yeah.
comes through the Alliance, we don't have to?
No, yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, that was just clarifying that. Because I know if it was us, we would have to.
Right.
But just also remember, that's a different board, so you give them the money, they've got their own decision-making power, so they don't have to choose the
Don't have
contractor you want,
Ching
so
ching.
they can
Listen, we're
use somebody else.
Yes.
Okay, alright. Feasibility studies. Alright, first thing we need to look at is our wastewater treatment plant. We're ever gonna get to the point to where the town and or the county can recruit competitively and in the industrial market, we need to up our capacity at the treatment plant. Right now, we're permitted at 850,000 gallons a day. We're running about 350 lower. But as soon as we get to 556, we gotta start drawing plans to increase our capacity. So it's not that far away. And no large industrial users that needs 500,000 gallons a day of capacity is gonna come in here and put us over that tipping point and then pay for us to outfit our plant.
Do we have land to expand where we sit?
Yeah, we would have
We
to.
got 14 acres.
Yeah, we have 14
Okay.
acres, and then we can purchase more around us if we need to.
Okay.
So
Sorry, I was just gonna say, you don't necessarily have to have it right there.
no.
That was something me and Nathan talked about. You know,
Places.
yes.
So what we'd like to talk about is in the feasibility study, we'd like to apply for this grant. We could get it for 500,000 from the EDA. It'd be a 20% match. We would have to pay $100,000 if they give us the full grant amount. So that would be a feasibility study of an engineer coming here and telling us if it's feasible to build all we need to build where it's at, or if we want to just upbid ours to a certain extent where it's at and build a brand new plant on the east side of town near where the industrial park is. We can take all of the industrial and all of that and just take it straight to that plant, and then it takes all of the stress off of our current plant. So that way we don't have to put $50 million into our current plant.
Bigger one.
We just put $1 or $2 million into it, get it to where it needs to be, where it can keep taking the 850, and then we spend $40 to $50
I'm telling you, there's a
year.
lot.
That helps with the industrial park,
Oh,
right? Makes it more
absolutely.
attractive.
For these that we're trying to attract there.
And does it
Exactly.
decrease
What
the
we got
pressure on the pump stations and stuff all along the,
Because if you just upfitted ours, there'd be so much collection system upfitting as well that you'd have to do that. We had another 20 or 30 on top of just building the plant.
Plus lift stations, right?
Well, that's.
Yeah, it's part of the collection
part of this.
system, upfitting the lines and the lift
Yeah.
stations to be able to get the amount of treatment capacity that you would want in an industrial park to be able to handle that occurrence.
So you're saying just build one just specifically for the industrial?
Not just the industrial.
But I mean,
The eastern part of the county, and where Stony Point School is getting pumped all the way up here.
it
so
takes a
it's
lot
gonna
of.
cost $400,000 just to do the study, to see what's feasible?
500,000, 400 is the water.
That's a different one. Yeah. This is just the first one. So, yeah, our grant that we would like to apply for is through the EDA and USDA, and how we would fund. I mean, I just did a quick ChatGPT budget breakdown of what a new plant would cost at this capacity, and it's about $61 million. Now that's just AI on the internet pulling different data from everywhere, but I have talked to other engineers, and it is going to be a lot. I mean, just putting in a new sewer line is $400 to $500 a foot for sewer gravity.
I mean, it sounds like a lot, but when you put it in that perspective, what you have to do just to maintain, I mean, the cost is not as, it doesn't seem as,
What is the additional revenue from expanding? I mean, that's unknown, right?
Right. Yeah, you would build a new treatment plant over there near the industrial park, and nothing gets filled out. And then hopefully there's also.
but what happens?
I'm telling you, there is so much potential. I'll get to that in a minute. There's so much potential out there.
Yeah, so I mean, but with that, building a new plant, that would then mean that we have two locations, we have two plants, both of them would be at a new grade potentially, so you have to have somebody staff there 24/7. So I mean, you have to pay those salaries, so we're gonna have to make sure that us and the county are both on the same page to recruit industries, to get them in here, so we can make our debt payments on this plant, because it's $60 million is a big debt payment for the town to take. Now, obviously, we wouldn't take all of that. We would get as many state and federal appropriations and grants as possible and patch it together into this wonky, creative financial package that we can survive. But we are going to need the added revenue here. All right, so for the water study. All right, so I guess everybody knows that water independence is a big topic right now, especially in Alexander County, this region. So we're going to team up with Alexander County and Energy United Water Corporation, and we're going to apply for this asset inventory assessment program like we just did for our own, the AIA, and then we're going to do it for a feasibility study for a new water plant in Alexander County. The town will be the lead applicant because we'll most likely score the best, and then Energy United will enter into a memorandum of understanding that they'll pay the application fee as long as we're the lead applicant.
Is there a missing player in that? Aaron? Was it Troutman involved in that?
For right now, this is just us
Independent
looking.
member.
Troutman is definitely interested in it. But just the word or just in conversation today that I had, Troutman's got the money to do it and help. This is more looking at us as Alexander County in general, and can we make is it feasible for us to do it?
Where we put it, and how much it's going to cost.
Would it have to be close to a body of water, would it not? Would it not be in Bethlehem, Lake Hickory side?
Or
They're looking Dusty
Or-
Ridge.
Yadkin.
At what?
They're looking Dusty Ridge. That's the first choice of water board.
But if you pull water to this side of town, that's the innovation transfer, right?
Yes.
From Dusty Ridge?
Well,
No, Catawba.
But not technically east of us.
it's a little bit east, a little bit east.
Yeah, just a little bit east
A
of
little
us,
bit east, and then go in the Yankee River, nothing.
which is currently going on already with the city of Newton's
Correct.
water
Because
purchases.
we don't have any way of getting to the Yadkin, to return to the Yadkin. If we,
Not at a point that it's, Energy United had a water plant,
And
On the
South Yadkin, you
but
know,
it was,
and Jim Gordon.
it's a low water base right there, there's a lot of sand. It was, obviously it was a struggle, but shut it down. So you would have to get on further over. Now, Energy United, now having West Ireland in theirs, may have potential access to it, but as far as centralized location to get the water where it needs to go without pumping any more than it has to be pumped, Catawba, that Dusty Ridge would be the best point.
I was gonna say, the only other place I can think of that we back up to any kind of water is Lake Lookout. Somewhere back over in there.
Right.
It has to go back to Lookout. But that's still part of the Catawba
It
system.
is, yeah.
It's just on the side.
Yeah, so, and there again, like I said, in talks today, me and Shannon had a talk today about everything, and honestly, just laying it all out to them, we are more than likely, I won't say unless a miracle happens, but unless something major happens, unless we got a high water using industry, we are landlocked for growth water system wise. Because you've got Alexander County surrounding this side of us, you've got Energy United surrounding this side of us. They're not going to give us anything. Our main focus is going to be most water.
Because we are the sewer provider.
That's
We're
right.
the only
We already do
sewer
that.
provider.
We're nothing.
So we got them.
So our focus will be more on the sewer part of it. They're going to focus more on the water part of it. It's still going to be a partnership.
But at least we have that.
Well, have you talked to somebody at the COG? Are they gonna be in support of this? Because, I mean, like, we're spending, and we're helping to pay for it, a lot of money to stop the interbasin transfer of more water into Charlotte.
General Sibley's killed that for the time
For
being.
the time being. I mean, if we pulled some out of the Yadkin, put it back into Catawba, that would kind of help Charlotte's case. But if we ask for another, but if we get it from the Catawba, put it back in Catawba, it don't matter.
And that's what this study is about. Is it feasible? If it ain't feasible, then
Right. So
Yeah, I mean, I just see a lot of environmental issues and all the, from my background in trying, the interbasin transfer is not gonna be, people aren't gonna take that lightly.
No.
I mean, they're gonna fight.
It's already
Well, that's
happening
what
now,
was-
isn't that what
that's
you
what they're
said?
doing the feasibility study.
Yes.
was to find
There's
out
already in.
but it's within regulation.
what would need to take place.
Well,
and what
would
would
this
need to
not have to
happen
be through?
for this
For this to happen.
do it, yeah.
So you're talking
I mean,
about
I agree that
so we
it's a good
figure out
thing to look
exactly
into
what the
us
study-
being independent and not having to count on somebody else for water, however,
Yes.
you
And
know,
I'm looking, they're
including
looking at
interbasin transfer,
a 6 to 8 million
because
gallon.
that'd just be a fight.
I think what Aaron said, for all practical purposes, let's say, you're either gonna get your water from Energy United or whoever might succeed in Energy United, or from Alexander County, I mean, or Hickory, I mean, that's,
Yeah.
Even if we-
you're boxed in, you're kind of
Yeah,
boxed.
even if we
We're
build
still
a plant, we're
pulling
still
it.
gonna be buying it from.
They come from the same water source.
Right.
We're just treating it now and not at the state's preaching regionalization, but in preaching regionalization, these places are requiring these smaller water districts that can't afford to keep doing it on their own, because you have places like Statesville and Charlotte that are charging them an astronomical amount for water, just so that they can fail and they can just take them over. So unless the state starts to regulate the cost that a municipality or water district can charge others for wholesale rates, it's just going, everybody's gonna be eating everybody until you're down to, we'll be a part of Charlotte.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with the tax revenue that they did years ago. There was a point of sale tax changed to, instead of getting the tax that was spent in the county or in the town, it changed. Am I just imagining things? The bigger areas got the more tax money. Is that wrong? You know, I don't know what I'm talking about.
No.
Okay. Maybe I don't know. I thought they
Well,
changed the.
typically, sales tax gets, it can be decided by the commissioners, I think. It can either be appropriated on the basis of your taxable value of your property, or on a per person basis, one or the other. I know that Watauga County stuck it to Boone several years ago, because they decided to do it based on the assessed value of the property. Well, a lot of property in Boone ain't assessed because it's tax exempt. So that,
I guess my point was that the bigger got more tax money, the lower didn't get as much. Maybe I imagined that. If I did, I'm sorry. Forget I said it.
Did you say something?
Word.
All right, so this brings in the, discussion the land for a future sports complex, and whether you purchase that first or you build a spec build under 2 first for some businesses. But if we're going to buy enough to build several soccer fields and several baseball, softball fields, it's going to cost us $1 to $2 million most likely, because we're going to have to buy some farmland from somewhere around here. And farmland's expensive.
You need 75 to 100 acres to have.
75 to 100 acres.
Yeah, that's gonna be within 3 miles of town.
Productive.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the hope.
So I don't,
So can you be beyond that?
I don't think, not annex it. I don't think we could purchase. Could we purchase land that's outside of the 3 miles outside of,
oh, I'm sure you could.
and then
Yeah,
annex
because,
it in?
yeah, I mean,
Because it's our.
yeah.
Is there that much room down there?
They used to buy land.
Honestly, it wouldn't matter.
I mean, that far.
If the land's
I would think
not
there would be
managed,
room.
there's
They don't get to see it, you buy
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, we're
We're gonna own it, so nobody's gonna be paying taxes on it. We're not gonna be paying taxes on it.
In all honesty, we're better to find it outside the city limits, so that we don't take that value off the books.
Oh,
But,
that's true.
but do we want the traffic in town?
Want the traffic is close to town and through town as possible.
Right. That way it brings other businesses,
Yeah.
hotels,
Yeah.
other things into town.
So then actually, it probably should be located on the west side of town or somewhere on the west side. So if the tournament is big enough and they utilize that complex plus East Park, people are having to drive through town from one part to the other.
Well, just keep your ears open. Tim McCullum, he's dead set on selling the golf course.
There was 100 acres beside the golf course.
That's, I know,
That's what I was gonna say,
we just
I
talked
just
about
said-
it.
Applied lots of this property.
Yeah, yeah.
We've named off a couple areas, got a couple potential areas that would be good.
What about that one we talked about where, now that they've switched ends, but Valley, they have all of that. There's so much.
They won't talk to us.
Oh, they won't?
They did talk to.
Oh, did
They talked to me.
I was gonna say, I thought we talked
the
about that
other
one
week,
time.
but it's only 30 acres.
Oh, it's not as big.
So it
Oh,
wouldn't be
yeah.
big.
Did you do a project?
I thought it was more than
with the
that.
sports
That's what he's fixing. Okay, that's where he's going.
Okay. I thought whenever we.
I didn't start it, but I was a part of it.
Right.
It was Stinger Park in Bessemer, and it was, I think it started out as like an $8 million project, it ended up being 12 because of COVID. COVID happened right in the middle of it, but it's got 2 multi-purpose fields. It's like soccer, football fields, and then 3 baseball fields. It was $12 million. Now, the fields are all grass, and there's some amenities within there, like splash pad and some playgrounds and stuff. We can cut out and just do fields and other things, because we've talked about just doing turf, so that way we don't have to pay people to mow it. You don't have to buy extra equipment, because with all that type of stuff, there's a lot of soft costs with that.
There's a cost of that turf.
Yeah, to April.
Yeah, but there's also
With
a
the
cost of
8-year life on
maintaining
it.
the grass.
Yeah, but you got an 8-year life on that turf that is mandated by the state that you will replace it.
Right. Well, I mean, and then our rental fees for all these travel ball tournaments will be enough to generate for every 8 years to replace it.
Okay, well, I'm just saying.
There's a little town in South Carolina that's got all turf fields. We play.
Most of them are, I mean, they are, they're
We
rural
like,
to
I
that.
don't know how many fields in this complex. There's about 100 acres.
Is it more?
See, this is how the conversations that we'd like to have in our Parks Master Plan.
All that.
that we would like to do. If we're gonna build a park, we have several parks, such as we wanna upgrade Town Park behind Town Hall, fix the bleachers, regrade the parking lot, we wanna do some stuff in Matheson, wanna build a new park, so we need to get a park, master park plan. Can't get a Part F grant unless you have a master park plan. So that's gonna cost us.
Where would we put these
$50,000.
said parks?
That's what we're talking about.
New
That's
park,
what we-
the big
The
complex,
sports
okay,
complex.
okay.
So we would like to work that into the budget and, probably just pay for that out of pocket if we're gonna pull some money out of the CD. Just go ahead and do it and pay for it. And we can,
But to come up with a plan is to have a look on it.
yeah, we're gonna do it, what's it gonna take to
Right.
build it and purchase it and do it.
What kind of upgrades are we talking about at Matheson Park?
Bathroom facilities,
If y'all wanna put
What'd you
pickleball courts up there at any
pickleball
point in
courts.
time,
That's what I
get
said.
rid of the
I said
volleyball
it
court,
ever since.
exchanging playground equipment, outfitting.
Needs a dog lot, dog thing, dog park in the corner.
the bathroom
Is the
is
number
the
one.
number
Oh,
one
yeah.
issue at the moment.
Yeah.
'Cause it ain't been unlocked since the 1st of March, and we already had damages.
Do we have cameras?
Where we can, we have them outside of the,
You can't have.
not
it
pointing,
inside.
it's right there at the facilities, it's not inside the facility, but,
And where most of your damage is occurring is inside, right?
and honestly, a lot of it is coming from your homeless,
Yeah.
outside of teenagers being stupid at times.
All right, cemetery. Hearing all this, just take this. Yeah.
The tree and the wall.
We want to look at doing a lot of stuff at the cemetery. We need to remove some trees. I need to level all these monuments. We want to do the GIS mapping with the COG so that we can provide that online to people who are interested in plots or want to find somebody else in this GIS map. And we also want to go into this mausoleum project with Alexander Funeral Home.
And they're gonna pay for that, right? He's paying for the actual mausoleum. We're just providing a plot of dirt for him to put it on.
Right, well, that's what we need to talk to. We need to discuss how to do that. Because technically, I think Monroe's brought up some questions previously, and that is like, if we provide that opportunity to one funeral service, then do we have to provide it to all funeral services in the public, or just the ones in the town that utilize our cemetery? And that's a good.
Bid process, all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, this is just wild coincidence. I called into the Congress city manager this morning about nothing unrelated, about something. He returned my call. He goes, and this is a conversation I had with him almost a year ago. I said, Tom, I see that we built the structures for ashes. And I said, what's the deal? He says, I'll get back with you. So he told me today that they're just now, he says, I'll be ready to share the information with you very soon. So I don't know what red tape they went through or going through in Conway, but anyway, they built them, already built them, because you can see them from the road. But can you get one yet? The answer is no. And this has been, I swear, I think it's been about a year. Because I just asked you, I was just curious what they paid. That's all I wanted to know. So, what'd you pay? How do you get a spot? And he said, and so he can't even give me the answer to either one of those questions. Yeah, I already.
Wouldn't couldn't Rhett, petition the town council to purchase a section of the cemetery for a mausoleum, and
He
then
did 1/269.
and then we accept that offer, and then we just advertise for 10 days for upset bids, and then if nobody
Yeah, but you
does
typically can't tie it to a use.
Well, how do we want to handle it? Not that.
Well, it's just like the urgent care building. We're selling that in theory, but it's not tied to any use.
it's only tied for what it's specifically zoned for by
Correct.
the zoning ordinance.
Right.
What is our cemetery zoned for?
Well, I don't know. What it's
Burial.
on.
Residential.
I don't know if anybody's going to purchase land within the cemetery and then
Well,
try to do something.
But somebody should have.
What are some? What are some other options? I can't direct sale to if it's.
You can do it. I mean, I don't know how it's regulated, if at all.
We sell pots.
Monroe, if we surveyed off the area, we had our master plan of how we wanted ultimately to look in the end, with the mausoleums located and everything. And we surveyed off those areas for the footprint for the specific mausoleums that we wanted in there.
Yep.
And we sold those lots, no different than we sell a cemetery lot,
Yeah.
with the regulations that this plot is regulated for mausoleum only. It must be these dimensions and this shape.
Right.
Would we be clear at that point?
Because then they're buying it, is that what you're saying?
Yes, they would buy that
They're buying
specific
the
lot,
lots, yeah.
and they would have to erect it based off of our guidelines.
Well, I guess it's no different now. I mean, on the plot. Okay, if I own 2 plots, I guess I can build pretty much within reason what I want.
As long as it meets the regulations. If it was in the horseshoe section, the regulations are you have to have a ground
That's be ground level.
level monument.
All right.
So we dictate those regulations for those spots, because we not basically do the same thing as those. And
Yeah, but he wants to be able to turn around and make it a commercial enterprise. Is what's been discussed, right?
He's gonna.
I mean, Adams is not doing. They're doing this because they want to make a profit.
right, but
They
Jane
got it.
Doe could go buy 50 cemetery plots if she wanted to, and turn around and sell them for whatever price she wanted to, as long as
That's
it's
the way it works. If I want to buy a cemetery plot that Nathan owns, I got to go back to the town.
No.
Not
Not if you
here.
own it, not if you own it.
Because we've had people buy lots
Because I've had
and then they resold it here.
See, I'm not.
We don't
Well,
buy
that's
anything back. They just have to
Yeah, that's
bring
what's
in
happening.
notarized documents stating that
Okay.
the ownership's been transferred to whoever.
So you got outside my pay grade there.
I was just asking if that's a feasible way of looking at it. To,
Well, if we're gonna sell public property, we just have to follow statute.
right.
Typically, 269 is what we do. Typically, there are other ways, but typically it's 269.
Have you mentioned in the GIS mapping project?
Well, I mean, we've talked about it, but I told him how much it is or how we want to space it out, or if we just want to pay for it one lump sum.
So the COG fund, we have every 3 to 6 months a meeting with the COG and their GIS department for our water and sewer stuff. And just come up in conversation about the cemetery. They've been doing some cemeteries recently. And so I got the numbers together, asked them if they were, if they was interested in what price it would be. Their number is between $15,000 to $20,000 to do the whole cemetery. And that's dictated by how much detailed information we wanted. It was originally dictated by the number of lots that we had, which the estimate that they went off of was right on this one.
Will it have like the names on it? Will it have each plot drawn off individually and where the other plots are now? So the names and information with it?
Yes, each plot will be drawn off. It will be a separate viewer from our water system viewer, just to simplify. So on our cemetery page on the county's website, you'll be able to click onto it. It will go to the COGS cemetery or GIS site for the cemetery. You can see every lot that is in the cemetery. You could click it. There's availability to do a search. You could type a name in and see where somebody's buried.
That would be pretty nice, because there's a lot of people that research
Oh yeah.
and travel around to do that.
It would be basically like Find a Grave, but more detailed. Where Find a Grave, you can see a picture of the stone. Here, you'd be able to see exactly where they're at. And so anytime people call in and have questions, well, I want to know where such and such is at.
It'll make it easier for y'all.
Send them to the GIS and they can search it, and they can see and be able to drive and go right to it.
A lot more organized than what it is now, would you say?
Absolutely. Now, granted, there's a lot of information still yet to be gathered and put in to get it. And like I told them, there's not. They've got some of the details that they went into with other cemeteries were way more overkill than we would look at. And it's not to say that we couldn't build onto those fields in the future and add the data ourselves. The biggest struggle that we'll have with it is having a cemetery plot that somebody's buried in and then having remains on top of it and getting those drawn out for that. And that'll be the biggest struggle that they're going to have with it. Of course, we don't have the birth and death dates for all those people. That's something that we could look at adding in the future. Just mainly just getting the bare bones started is the key, because once you have that, the potential is unending with the information that you provide.
Are we gonna have the ability to upgrade it and add to it as more
Yes.
people are buried? And we have someone on staff that's gonna do it?
It would be me. I would update it as people pass, just like I do. I got a computer, or I got an access document that I update all that stuff in now. So
But it still would make it easier for you even to access, because it'll
the
be
biggest
more.
thing is I can
Sure.
go out there and pull up on my phone and not have to call Rachel or
Right.
call her whoever and say,
Right.
hey,
It's
you
just
go to my
gonna be right
computer
there.
and look at this and see where it says this person's buried.
Yeah,
I can see it on my phone and find exactly what I need.
yeah.
But there's a bunch of people that come in and looking for where the graves are.
Oh, I'm sure.
So I think it can be great. And even going potentially one step further, with Black Mountain, we agreed in on a cemetery portion. They had a cemetery program themselves in Black Mountain. I found out just in the last little bit that it's a brand new piece that they don't have a lot of details about and don't, it's not the greatest thing. Come year forward, let's say we got $1,300 to a year for maintenance on that particular piece. If we have this GIS system, we don't do that.
You won't need that. piece.
So we could just drop that piece altogether, and put that towards the maintenance contract cost of GIS and Put that 40.
Alright.
We got,
Yeah.
staying overtime.
Christmas lights, we need to talk
I'm
about.
sorry.
Christmas light purchases to upfit. Some of our Christmas lights that we hang up about town, throughout the year, they're damaged, and we need to start replacing them. So we're looking at phasing the replacements, so many every year over the next 2 or 3 years. You can just replace, I think we have some angels and some stars. So we'll say, this year we'll replace all the angels, because more of those are damaged than the stars, and then next year we'll replace all the stars. And,
Can I ask a question?
yeah.
I like the
Do we-
idea. Now, you bring up the point, the winter thing.
Huh?
The winter thing that you mentioned.
My question was gonna be, are we gonna stay scattered in all different kinds of stuff? Or are we gonna like say, well, we're gonna go with wreaths, and so every one that we replace, we add wreaths, and we keep doing it until we get a consistent,
That's the plan.
yeah.
But
What are we gonna
You're
go?
talking about all winter thing, like snow flakes.
Right, some that can
I think
stay
that's
longer, yeah, like we
We can
stay
enjoy it.
That can just stay
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
till February.
Doesn't have to be a holiday.
in February
It
or
doesn't have to be
March.
like a stocking. You can just do this.
No.
Just do all snowflakes or something
Right.
like that.
Still looks Christmassy,
But
but
it's
it also can be
progress.
for winter.
But as you progress and get towards the latter stages, get you some Christmas ones to go to the downtown area for the hometown Christmas celebration for the carriage rides.
Yeah,
And then we just take those down separate and leave the winter up. But they'll be staggered in a position where it's not going to make all the spots in town by doing it.
Alright, so, got some things to think about. Land purchase, potentially for a park at some point in time, or for a building. Wastewater treatment plant study, Parks master plan, a water treatment plant study, which is another $400,000, which is reimbursable, by the way. You just pay that to this engineering to be reimbursed by the state for doing that. And then different type of economic development projects. This is the building and the hospital. So we're looking at,
Talk about the master plan gets reimbursed. The park, which one got reimbursed?
the water treatment plant.
Water treatment.
Yeah. So, priorities for this budget, employee compensation, make sure we can keep our employees, our capital project priorities, investment into the town in our future, timing on our land acquisition, and then how we build back our reserves over time while we're also investing in ourselves, and how we do that. Alright, so remember, when it says 27,190, 5 cents would be 137,450. We want to do a lot of stuff, we want to provide a lot of stuff. I mean, we don't have a lot to be able to pay to provide. So just think about that as we're going through this budget year, and we're making decisions on what we purchase, when we purchase, and what we provide, and how we provide it. Any questions or comments?
I don't buy very much of what you put up there.
No.
Could we find a different way to come up with
I don't know where you.
I think we should have.
Almost $250,000.
I don't think we should have ever dropped it when we did.
I don't either.
Hey, man,
That was a big mistake.
Well, I mean, the 137 would be for operational. We gotta come up 78,000 plus 530.
Yeah, here.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is raising it 5%. It doesn't really, I mean, it's like putting
Yeah, I think,
lipstick on a pig. That,
Gotta start somewhere.
The what?
The HVAC,
Oh,
just
yeah.
while we have time to talk.
While we have time to talk, we're gonna have to replace the HVAC units here at Town Hall. The one on the police department side is kaput, and the one on the Town Hall side in the basement is also kaput. So,
you putting it out for bids? That's gonna be 12 to
we
24,000.
got a quote from Fever Heating and Air that was 10,400 for one and 11,000 for the other. So,
And that's the going rate?
And they'll be here like that.
Yep.
we will,
I have to go to service, I'm sorry.
have to get some more prices. Just yeah.
I'll make it legal. I'll make it legal.
That's staff reports.
Oh, I have a question.
I have
And I can't remember
general
which
discussion.
email it. I'm gonna check on this. Okay. Which email it came on, or text me, whatever. It was about the roundabout, something with
Oh, Express Design
all the
Project.
traffic, yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, I thought we were gonna talk about it today, but I just was asking.
No, I
So
was
you know
gonna-
me, I'm
I was
ready.
trying to get more, information from Avery at the time. but It's a project to do an express design on different type of traffic patterns through town, through downtown on Main Avenue, and they're gonna do some traffic counts. The DOT is for us at the intersection of 16, and Loudon, and 90. I think, what was it?
Old Wilkesboro Road.
Old Wilkesboro Road and Main, and then, Lee's Mountain.
They said if Old Wilkesboro Road made the count, then it would carry forward all the way to the year.
All the Wilkesboro roads be coming out.
Yeah.
So they're not gonna look at implementing
Up here.
roundabouts
Oh,
throughout
yes.
the entire
So many
downtown.
times.
They're not gonna do that. They would just look at one, maybe two places, and then, you know.
I know how we
necessarily
fix the rest of it. Who pays for our stoplight, Power View? Who pays? DOT pays for it?
We own one.
Okay.
That's the one down at the courthouse.
Because in crisscrossing Georgia through every small town that they have, I think, over the past 5 days, 90% of those towns do not have stoplights on Main Street at all. They have four-way stops.
They have four-way stop, or they have a roundabout.
Or they have a roundabout. So let's just dual-way stoplights and then four-way stoplights and roundabouts and roll with it. Because then we can put up light
That's, I mean,
posts.
I didn't talk with them about that, about implementing some four-way stops, and I think that they were open to that at certain intersections. Some intersections can't do that, you're gonna have to be.
Oh, Wilkesboro.
So, but it could be a stop, it could be a roundabout rather than a stoplight. So if we're talking about 16 and Main Avenue, that could be a roundabout that keeps people flowing through there. And then
Well,
four-way
16
stops.
in Loudon, 16 is still something the state wants to put a roundabout.
Yes.
There are 10,000 roundabouts in the state.
You know where else they want to put one at?
Like every,
I'm for it.
yeah.
I'm for it.
But four-way stops slows your traffic down.
It does.
So good.
People can't tell whose turn it is, you're gonna have a
Well, that wouldn't affect me.
It will.
roundabout training.
It'll slow your traffic down.
Well, that would take care of the speeding then.
Yes,
That's what I said.
roundabouts will take care of
It'll
it.
help you.
Going
They say-
down Main Street, like
Well,
they
I
do
said,
right
it's
now.
a hazard down Main Street, that'll slow
They put
traffic
those four-way
down.
stops in.
Yeah.
Four-way stops slows your traffic
We got
down.
a
The tolls are going.
It was at 8.
I mean, it seems like a,
It was 8, was it not?
Was
You're
it
right.
8 roundabouts.
oh, is that what they say?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, no, that's
So
not.
we,
I requested a study for it.
That's not what actually
It's
doing.
like
I mean,
it's
it's-
there's a police station.
Yeah.
This is somebody else's district, West Memphis,
right in that area right there.
Absolutely.
Grant Drive.
Can they start
Well,
tomorrow?
They
Yeah.
took out.
They're on the traffic count. They're in the
Speaking
Yeah, it's a stoplight, and they took that stoplight, and they got the side road and then the main road.
The 20th
And they
is
took
Friday.
it out and put in a stop sign.
What happens if,
There's a sidewalk.
Yeah, everybody has stop, but you should see the
They're
people that run that
supposed to
stop sign.
have,
I mean, because they
they're not gonna
took
have
down the
one.
little flags,
It's
and
not
kind of,
gonna be-
you know, warn people, and just all of a
Am I
sudden, there it is, and they
Hopefully
they
they'll
run
be
it.
there
It's
by
like
the
when I
final-
used to walk in the mornings,
Convention day is
wait
in
for that
April.
stop sign, it's
We're
like,
supposed to
okay, I
get
never
one
crossed the road at that
Friday,
point, because
additional
you never
work
know
for
who's
First
there.
Avenue.
Just let me share with you what I get every time I talk to our senator and our representative. If those projects are not completed by June 30th, the town will refund to the state. That's what I hear every time I see them.
Well, and that's, we're not
Well,
gonna
you can
have
have,
money.
you can have the road, because this is on the
There's a
conversation.
street
Yeah.
in-
We,
in the Viewmont area.
it's kind of
in
a,
the neighborhood.
we're hung up with,
And
the
they
contractor.
just, like it's a.
because
Hung up with the
we're still within
Um,
contract
they put a stop
time frame.
sign there, they put
And-
it all.
and
Because
if they can get it-
it's
Straight
April
road on
one.
one side.
April
Friday
one
is
is
the
the sign.
substantial completion date, and they would typically have a month to go and punch the signs and fix it
We got a
if they
stop
need to
sign, just
until
like.
April 19th, I believe. it is.
But how can they have a punch list?
Yeah, I just don't
and
understand.
But see,
That's
there's,
what I'm saying.
there's it's the whole project of the paving and
Not just the
everything.
sidewalk and.
so what percentage of it have they done? 25?
No, it's
No,
about
they're-
60.
They're about 80.
Yeah.
When
JT
When
Russell.
the paving's done, it's 80% of the project, because the
Okay.
vast majority of
And
the
they got
project
that,
was
that was
paving.
really good, actually.
You're about 230,000 on the sidewalk part there, cost wise.
Yeah, but if we return money to the state,
We won't get
We're
more.
not gonna return money to the state, we're just gonna pave more streets.
if they don't get that sidewalk done, we're gonna cut them off and pay the
We're
streets.
just gonna cut them off and pave
But why would-
streets, and then we'll attempt to potentially call them on if they have to, and that'll be a long drawn out process.
Call them what?
Call them on.
Performance. Nobody wants their bond called, because that, once you get your bond called, it's,
That's bad.
But, like, me and Monroe filed, that bond agency is not only gonna pay, they're gonna do everything they can to get the contractor to do what they were supposed to do.
and that's fine, do the job.
But they're gonna play mediator, and that job's gonna get past June 30th.
Oh, yeah, easily, yeah.
That's the problem.
Be burning down.
So if we
This
don't get
whole
it to
thing
April,
is just sitting around out.
we're just gonna have to accept that the sidewalk ain't being built, pay with the rest of the money, then call the bond, and hopefully get that sidewalk money back. Then we just put it out to bid ourselves. Hopefully get somebody that can do it.
Ever again.
The sidewalk was the most
It doesn't
important
matter
thing.
what they say, they're gonna do it for, we're not.
But it had to be, could be done.
We're really still.
Sure.
Well, the curb is already,
The sidewalk couldn't be built until the curb was built.
but it was already
The
there.
curtain's been there for years.
Okay.
Yeah, it's over there on
Okay.
90.
All they have to do is dig a sidewalk for it.
Yeah,
All you have to do is.
we told them day one, I don't care what is done first, or when things get done, we want the sidewalk done first. I specifically told them that in the meeting.
And they paid first.
Yeah.
Now-
We just,
Well, they're not paying, they contracted that out.
Right. We
Yeah.
just asked if they
Got
would just
unlucky
subcontract out this concrete.
the only contractor that bid on the project.
That's frustrating.
Well,
JT said he's running into the same issue with the same contractor in Tracton on a project down there. That's,
They're,
Is it country board?
Yes.
yeah.
Well, I would hope in the future,
I will refuse
Oh,
to
no,
work.
they're
we will not
relentless,
do
they're done.
any business. with
I
country
promise
board.
you, I will
If it
not
costs
say
us-
it's okay for
if
any
it costs
one
us-
time.
Money,
what did anyone always invest on?
you know, it's,
No, it's not.
No.
well, and you don't know if you don't know,
We
so
weren't
Right.
ever learned
But
that.
live and learn.
It drives me.
They didn't have, Legion's never had issues with it. They're,
They're a pretty big outfit and they've done a lot of big jobs. So. And every job they've used,
they just put Taylor on the bottom of the list. Continue.
apparently Tracton too,
I think they're probably just spread thin.
and don't have employees.
Took on
Our
2 months.
supervisor is supposed to be gone the one that was over our project.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
He's left the
He talked to
building.
the president of the company yesterday.
They got a phone call about it.
So we're supposed to, they said they shouldn't have any problem with completing their project by April, but they haven't had a problem until,
Well, we heard that back, it was gonna be March 20th.
that's what I'm saying.
And then we heard back that it was gonna be December of last year.
But I can't do anything because we're in a contract with this company, and we don't have time to redo
I'm
that.
not shooting the messenger, I'm just saying that's what we've been hearing, December, March, April.
Yeah.
We approached it, we would like to have it done by school, starting for school traffic. And then, of course, that was first of the fall, and then, like you said, it went to December, and then it was just, the contract was, they should have it done by March, and here we are. I promise you, we're tired of hearing you fuss about it, as you are fussing about it.
The homeowners, I'm tired of hearing the homeowners saying, oh yeah, you got a sidewalk coming? I don't see nothing. Because I live across the street from them.
I know.
I guess the main concern with me is with that sidewalk that's built or not, the money gets spent.
Yes.
Right.
The money's gotta get spent.
The money
Yes.
will-
We got plenty to
And
do.
listen,
JT Russell.
we could tear down the big A behind my house and rebuild it.
We will expend it on streets and
I got
sidewalks
sidewalks
somewhere.
in
in
place.
Hey, okay.
Of course, you gotta have
That
that.
A frame behind it is attached to my house.
Okay.
That's
Any more
I'm
staff?
sorry, I didn't mean to bring up
That's-
something about
that's-
thing, but I remember you saying that, and I wanted to know what.
That's it for me.
So,
Here in the.
No, I ain't got nothing else.
Nicole,
I'm good.
I'm good.
Council discussion. Go then, Jack.
Well, I do, but it's not popular somewhere, so I'm gonna let it ride.
Put it on.
What is it?
Go ahead and
It's been good discussion today.
Well, and listen, I want this to be a good discussion. You know, I keep hearing Ms. Kim always wanting to get our sidewalks pressure washed, okay? And there's other things we want to do in town. Just know that the town has got the opportunity of $250,000 savings to incorporate our police and sheriff's department. Just throw it out there.
Kim, you got something?
I don't wanna do that.
Okay, but I'm just saying, you get your sidewalks pressure washed.
What costs,
Yeah.
as things continue to get worse in the world? No, I don't wanna do that. I want to have good, I want to be able to call the police and 10 of them show up in my yard in 5 minutes if I need them, and they
Well,
have
how are you
many
gonna do that
times.
when they're in the county?
I don't know.
We're not in the county.
Cool.
So, my
They
question
always
was
do.
about the stoplights and after seeing all that, it's like how many of those little towns just looked really well with, well, we know who was paying for the power for the stoplights, because the four-way stops seem to work well in many of those towns. And, I think as long as it's a consistent thing, you know, like there was always roundabouts on either side of these little towns. You'd roundabout in and then stop sign, roundabout out. And it looked good, it was consistent, and it was clean, so. And I just think a lot of this stuff is, you know, it's like, it's not major stuff, it wouldn't cost a ton of money, you just need to make it look clean, and it doesn't now. So, I know Tyler Johnson's looking at, he's getting an estimate on getting his building pressure washed, because he wants to have it pressure washed before he puts the awnings back up. And he didn't want to pressure wash sidewalks until the building was pressure washed. So I don't know, I mean, like, could we establish a day that encouraged property owners or business owners, which would fall on me, because I've been cleaning up the man's building ever since I've been in there, but to clean up and, like, you know, I mean, there's hazards to people that are walking the street on the hotel, because if you look up under all them awnings, there's tons of yellow jacket and wasp nest up under those eaves.
Hang dragonflies that the wasp won't come.
I bought me some of
Did they
them
work?
this morning. I don't know. I saw that, and I'm going to put them out and see if they work. But
Why don't you set up like a sweep, set up a
Town
downtown cleanup.
Is that something the Alliance could do?
And the mayor could just
He's
set a
not even
proclamation.
listening.
Proclamation.
Yeah, I am.
Just do a proclamation,
Yeah, y'all
declare.
Can
About that.
Just do this or do it through the Alliance, do it through the town or do it through the Alliance, which is the better way to go.
How you want to promote it, because the paper will be sitting there at the meeting. And
I'd say promotion to the town.
Okay. What all we want to include? Town cleanup day, pressure wash your sidewalks, wash your windows. Bring your pressure washers, bring your weed eaters and weed eat the sidewalks because they desperately need it. And your leaf blowers.
In the book of Nehemiah in the Bible, whenever they rebuilt the wall around the city, they had one sword in one hand and they built the wall with the other hand. That's literally what the Bible says, that they built a section in front of their house, and their house, which rebuilt the wall in 52 days, which got it done quick. And that's a good concept, taking care of your spot and just taking a day to clean up your spot. Pretty good.
I'll try to come up with some creative ideas.
Tammy, you got some? I've got a couple things, and I'll try to hurry. I had a productive meeting with Ben Zachary today, and two of our county commissioners to be, and we actually got to ride the train. We rode down to the industrial park, rode on down to the county line and back, and very informative. Come back and met with Ben at the shop, and he induced this meeting. He wants a better relationship with the town and with the county. And I've heard a lot of stuff about Ben, but today, meeting with him, I would never believed in it. He's very gentle, very kind, very nice guy. We talked, had a good conversation. I think it would help the town if we could go into some partnership with the railroad. What that is, I don't know. But there is a tremendous amount. There's hundreds of acres of land that they currently own that's not developed. There's 100 acres or so behind Craftmaster with the track that would be going back through there. He generally wants to help and do that. I think if the town could, with the county, if we can establish a working relationship with the county and with the railroad, I think us three together can do some good things down through there. If we can incorporate some of those businesses, like the county has $1 million pad sitting down there that's growing up in trees. He wants to reignite that, hopefully, and get that project off the ground and do something with it. Can we go in with the county and annex that property in and help some way of doing that? I mean, that's something he wants to do pretty soon.
The county's only got to do some annexation petition.
What about the dining car?
Well,
Yeah.
we didn't talk about that with Ben, but we talked about it with Ryan. He's the everyday operations manager. And we talked about it with Andrew Johnson and Marty Latimer and myself. We went, and it was some good conversations. They remembered the days where there was a car that rode from here to Hidnight and back. The main thing with him was the insurance. If the county and the town can partner somehow with the insurance, we can do this together. I just think egos need to be put aside, and we need to work together for the betterment of the town and the county, because what happens in the town happens affects the county. What does in the county affects the town. It's a partnership. I think coming up in May is training day, May the 10th. The Saturday closest to May the 10th is training day with the internet sale. They've been in business for 80 years this year. So I think it would be good. If I had to buy it myself, I'll do it. If we can present Ben with a plaque for 80 years a service for that, through his dad and through him, and that appreciation of what they've done for Alexander County. They donated the land for the YMCA, the ball field. They donated a lot of equipment in the Junebug room in the YMCA. Just different things they've done for the county. Regardless, I don't know what the past was. I don't really care. Relationship-wise, my goal is going forward is that we can take Taylorsville and Alexander County into an industrial revolution. That may be pie dream, but I think he really wants it to happen. I don't think Ben's going to be around forever, but I think this would be a good step in repairing a relationship that we could get a dining car or a riding car that he would be more open and receptive to it. But I'm telling you, that meeting today was very optimistic. Very optimistic.
What'd you say he wanted to do with the site at the industrial park?
He wants to, there's a pad out there that the county got a grant, I believe it was, $1 million grant.
Behind Door Hill.
Yeah. And it's sitting there now.
It's the one that keep, but that worked on selling.
Yeah. Okay, they were supposed to grade it off.
There is a pad.
There's a pad already graded.
Ready for a building to
There's your
be.
Ready for a building. He was going to build himself. He was going to front up a 50,000 square foot building. It's got room enough for a 150,000 square foot building that they could add on to later. But he was going to put his neck out for enough for a 50,000 square foot building to build on that site. He was going to partner with the county with that, but the county didn't like the deal that was drawn up, and they pulled out, and $1 million sitting over there on that pad, wasted grant money.
Who put the money, who put the pad in?
I guess the county granted,
Through the EDC.
right. Now, don't
See,
I don't know all the details.
there's a bigger story there,
Yeah.
and you want to get current county commissioners involved instead of two guys that haven't been elected yet.
So why didn't they go talk to them about it?
Well, did they go, were they invited?
Anytime he said open invitation to come talk to them. So I would love to have the current county commissioners. I would go there myself with the current county commissioners, and I'm sure he would take us on a train back down through there, and we could talk about it. Because the way that I understand it is that the county commissioners pour out the deal.
Through the EDC, there's, let's say, you ought to get Ronnie or Marty
Yeah.
and talk to them about it, okay? Because they were involved in that.
Well, I'd be happy to. Absolutely. Absolutely.
But I'd love to see a dining car. That would be, there's your money issues right there.
Yeah. Get some partnership with the train that we can do events and stuff with the train, and
That's a
there will be no problem with money.
But I agree with what
Because
he's saying.
people come for miles and states and stuff to go to do
Right,
those
that's right.
things.
He would be more agreeable to that if we could establish a relationship, a better
Yes.
relationship.
Yes.
Yeah.
What I'm saying, Jack,
You
is
catch
we
more
get-
flies with honey.
Let's find out what that engine is, the Junebug. I'll go over to the Hobby Lobby store in Hickory, get that engine, we'll put it on a plaque and present it to them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying.
I don't think they have it at Hobby Lobby. You're probably gonna have to go to
No,
no, it's that train
that
store.
Hobby store. Yeah, hobby
It's
shop.
the train store over in Hickory.
I don't care what happened, like I said, I don't care what happened in the past. I just think if the current county commissioners bury the past, and he can bury the past, and we can just come back together, come back to the table and start working on a deal that would benefit us all, yes, let's do it. Let's put aside the egos, and let's do the deal.
I mean, does the county have money in this thing? I mean, other
The
than
way I
grant
understand
money?
it, it's a grant that they got to have it. Now, there was no money, I guess, from the actual county for them, but it was a grant. I mean, I think it was.
They got the
$1 million.
grant to put the pad down, and then nothing happened after that.
Correct.
So, what is-
The sewer's just now got, it's not even finalized yet, the sewer project to get sewer to that lot. They're just now completing that. county sewers.
So you know, in Statesville, out there close to the Cloverleaf, there's an industrial park that has, so I don't know what square footage the buildings are, but they have like 4 different things in them. So they're like smaller, like for instance, R&R, the granite guy I use, he's in one corner of one of those metal buildings, and then there's like a transmission shop, and I don't know what the other 2 are
Yeah,
on
you
the
can
other
build
backside.
and partition them off.
So is that something that could work in your idea or plan, that maybe just the town could partner with them to get it off the ground and get it going, or the alliance to put the building up and get it started?
Like industrial.
Yeah.
I don't wanna build a building on someone else's land. The county's not gonna sell us their land.
I
We're
mean,
gonna have to, are they gonna annex it into the town?
well, that's kind of my idea, is
Well, I
annex.
mean, the county owns it, so they don't technically pay taxes on it.
Right.
So,
Well, it would be sold to whoever, company that come in. and put
It
their-
was a spec pad in essence.
Yeah, spec pass, but the spec build,
Yeah.
around 50,000 square foot. That's what they did for Big Borealis, kind of did that. They did a great
Well,
job.
and then the new addition to Paragon Films.
There's a lot of good stuff that the county did with the railroad there, but I don't know what happened in that other instance. I just know that the county pulled, that's what they told me today, that the county pulled out and wouldn't give a, I guess, incentive, maybe. I don't know the details. I ain't gonna promise, I ain't gonna say I do know all the details, I'm just telling you what they told me. So, but, and the other 2, candidates said that they would love for the other county commissioners to take that to them. They wish they could.
And who initiated this meeting? You?
I did with Ryan. He goes to church with me, and he said, "I'd love to sit down and talk with you." So let me get something.
Is Ryan the engineer, the train engineer?
Yeah, he's
Would you find out what that train is, the
Yeah.
locomotive? And then
I
I'll
would
find out.
do like a town event kind of thing with Train Day.
Like pull the train out of the depot?
No, not necessarily, but it'd be kind of cool to
Well,
do
you
like
go to
some
the town.
things over there. We can just do
That
something
would
about
be
the
cool
train
if
all the
you
way
were
through
to
the
do
town.
that. That would be pretty cool. Pull one of the, or 2 of the engines down to, they got 4. I didn't know if you know that or not. They got 4 engines inside that building. That's pretty cool. Pull a couple of them down there and let people, while they're parked, tour. But I know insurance and safety is a big thing in his mind.
Oh, yeah.
So,
So like at the depot, you say pull them to the depot. I mean, I can talk with him about ideas if he'd be interested in doing something like that if y'all want me to, because I mean, I'll see him tomorrow. Today is Tuesday, right?
Tomorrow's good.
I'll be with him at lunch tomorrow. Nathan will be too.
that's important partnership. So, awesome. I mean, I love this, Ronnie and Kent and
Well, you have Josh, Kent, Marty, and Ronnie.
Yeah. Or all 7 of them. I mean, even the new ones to the ones that are still there. I mean, it doesn't matter. I think egos need to be checked at the door. That's my main concern. But if you let them know, then I will talk to Ryan and see if we can get it set up again. And I'm sure it'll be no problem. So, okay. That's all I got. So,
I have one other question. Who are the 2 restaurants that you said there were 2?
Duncan and, that's a sub, which,
Alright.
yeah, I knew it was one of those, I didn't know if it was the Jersey
Are they
Mike's
looking
or.
at Main Street?
No, they're on 16.
Oh, they're wanting to build on 16.
across from Mavis Tire.
Yeah, across from
Well,
Bojangles.
No, it's across from Bojangles.
Or, yeah.
Where that, I
Where
don't
the
know.
trailer was at.
Yeah.
They
The
kind of,
Seiko's, where the
There's a wooden sign that's got a, looks like a builder's name on it now, so they're getting ready to tear it down.
That's the owner.
across from where?
What is it?
No,
Well,
across from,
It could be across from Bojangles.
across from our heritage building.
Yeah, it is across from Mojo.
They're saying they're tearing
It
down
used to be
Jody
Mama
Papazikas, tearing down that double wide.
Yes.
Okay.
Jody Papazikas was, and then it was
Oh,
family
yeah, that's the
something.
one this, okay.
Right.
All in favor of adjourn?
I-
Yeah,
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Uh-huh.
All opposed, stay.
That's funny.
Well, we didn't adjourn in.
It started, yeah.
Don't make it here, we go to you, but.
Resigning on. That's what I've been told.
You're welcome.
Breakfast.
Your record is over, is not there.